be back. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on.
Here comes a loud chorus of On the Ball City to get you going. Well, they do that before every game at Carrow Road, but it's never usually like this. There was something extra in that On the Ball City being belted out by the supporters at Carrow Road. I'm just watching the captains, Russell Martin and Luke Chambers, now standing with the mascots and the match officials, having their pictures taken in the centre circle. We're really not far away now from the start of this. I'll give you the teams. If you haven't heard the news yet, it's Ruddy in goal for Norwich, Whittaker, Martin, Basson and Olsen across the back, Tetty and Howson in the Norwich midfield, with Johnson playing to the left, Redmond the right and Houlihan up in support of Cameron Jerome. Ipswich have Bartos, Bilkowski in goal, Luke Chambers, Tommy Smith, Christoph Berra and Tyrone Mings the defenders, Cole Skews, Teddy Bishop and Kevin Brew in midfield, Paul Anderson and Freddie Sears on the flanks, Daryl Murphy through the middle. The teams are just changing ends here at Carrow Road, having had the toss-up, and it means that Norwich were defending the Barkley end in the first half. Is the Ewan Roberts heart pumping?
Sorry, it's so loud here, Chris, I didn't hear a word you said.
Is your heart pumping?
It is. I mean, it's such an important day, important hour and a half for the football club. The prize is huge. There's been a lot of talking since that game last week. You know, the game's been built up, didn't need much building up in all honesty. It's now down to those 11 individuals out there wearing yellow and green to do the club proud, to do the fans proud, but even more importantly, to do themselves proud. They can all become heroes come half two today.
Well, both sides went into a huddle each to get the final few words of motivation and encouragement said, and it will be Ipswich in those royal blue shirts with the white shorts and blue socks who will get us underway in the Carrow Road sunshine. Norwich in yellow and green. We've got 5 or 6 yellow and green balloons on the pitch at the moment, blowing around in the Ipswich half of the field. Tyrone Mings, the Ipswich left back, is just stamping his studs into them and bursting those balloons. Let's hope that's the only yellow and green bit of bursting that goes on today. We are underway, the biggest East Anglian derby of all time. Wembley is on the line here, a place in the playoff final between Ipswich Town and Norwich City, and the game is underway, and it is frenetic straight away in the midfield. Tetty getting involved. The song swipes the ball upfield, and it comes off Tyrone Mings' head. It goes out of play. It's a Norwich throw-in. Alex Neil, the Norwich manager, set off after the ball there and went to retrieve it, acting as the ball boy, but the referee Roger East is just stopping things, and he wants to get all these balloons that are on the pitch, he wants to get them popped.
And rightly so. Was it Sunderland that conceded? I mean, that was a beach ball, wasn't it, 2 or 3 years ago? But it's going to be hectic, it's going to be frantic in the opening 10-15 minutes, but then I think Norwich have got the players have got the cool heads to get the ball down, to pass the ball, to keep it and go and attack.
Mings clears the ball forward for Ipswich. Basong takes that one down on the chest nicely and finds Russell Martin, who steers the ball into the Ipswich half. It will come straight back off the head of Tommy Smith. Basong rises high, lifts the ball into the Ipswich half. Jerome jumps. Ipswich win that header. Offside given against Cameron Jerome, so it is an Ipswich Town free kick. You talked about how keen Alex Neil would be for his side to come out of the blocks, and we got a little clue there, didn't we, Ewan? Because when that ball went out for the throw-in before the referee stopped it for the balloons to be burst, Alex Neil was the ball boy. He wanted that throw-in taken quickly.
From the first kick-off, they went back to Tyrone Mings, the long ball up for Daryl Murphy, and who's there to win it in front of him? Alex Tetty. He's got to do that for 90 minutes.
Here's Houlihan on the edge of his own penalty area. He's given the ball away to Mings. That was careless from Wes Houlihan. Mings is in a good position here. He'll cross the ball into the Norwich penalty area. Overhit though. It's beyond all the Ipswich players. They're going to try and make something of it though now with Chambers on the right flank. He's got support out there from Kevin Brew, turned neatly to the right here, and Murphy coming forward for Ipswich. Good challenge comes in from Martin Olsen, and Norwich clear the ball away for a throw-in. Olsen did seem to take a knock in the warm-up, but he's all right now. He has started this game. That is the good thing from a Norwich point of view. Here come Ipswich on the right. There's a challenge by Olsen and a foul given against Olsen. And this is the sort of thing that Ipswich want. A free kick, level with the Norwich penalty area in the opening 2 minutes, wide on the right.
Challenge as well. You know, he's got no need. The ball's gone. You know, Anderson's passed the ball. His quickness of feet has beaten Olsen. He gets sucked into the challenge, and as you say, from set pieces, you know, Berra, Tommy Smith come up from the back. They have got some tall boys in there.
Chambers is up there as well. Smith, as you mentioned, Murphy in the penalty area, Freddie Sears as well, and Berra at the far post. It will be Kevin Brew, the Mauritius international, who with 2.5 minutes on the clock may give the Barclayens something to worry about here. A free kick, level with the Norwich penalty area. The Canaries fans keeping the noise levels high, keeping the atmosphere as loud as they possibly can. Brew's free kick, curled into the Norwich penalty area. There's an Ipswich header, and it goes over the bar. And I think it was Murphy, their top scorer, who got his head to it.
And Russell Martin's asking the referee the question, do you not see the push? I mean, I saw it from up here. Murphy on Martin. Quite an obvious one. The referee didn't spot it, which is slightly surprising.
Well, wasn't on target anyway, so 3 minutes gone. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0. Ferocious noise, wonderful atmosphere. Bright sunshine at Carrow Road. And it's John Ruddy who takes the goal kick and launches the ball over the halfway line. Bradley Johnson tussling with Luke Chambers, two former Northampton Town teammates, going shoulder to shoulder on this side of the pitch. It's gone out of play. It will be an Ipswich Town throw-in. No great surprise about the way either side have lined up in terms of the formation, either you and
No, I didn't. I knew Mick McCarthy would come here 4-4-2. That's the system that he likes to play. Wasn't surprised that Wes was called in. You know, I think they did lack his vision and his movement last week at Portman Road. I thought it was a better performance last week when Wes came on. No disrespect to Graham Dorrans.
Now the ball is in the Norwich half again. Ipswich have started well and they've won a throw-in. Level with the Norwich penalty area, which Chambers will take. He'll find Brew. Back to Chambers, who crosses low from the right. It's cleared away by Basong. Smith retrieves it for Ipswich. It's a long ball forward. It looks like he's got too much on it. The ball is going to bounce eventually out of play. And it's a Norwich throw-in their left-back position. But Norwich 0, Ipswich 0, 1-1 on aggregate.
That was too easy for me from that throw-in. Chambers straight into Brew's feet. He's in the penalty box. Nice little layoff for him. Back to Chambers. And if it wasn't such a disappointing cross, it could have been a few problems for Norwich there.
Olsen with the throw-in for Norwich City. Ipswich are pushing up here, trying to keep Norwich hemmed into their left-back position. Alex Neil watches from the far side of the pitch. Hands by his sides. Not looking too perturbed at the moment as the header from Tommy Smith bounces behind harmlessly for a Norwich goal kick. So to really see Norwich with any sort of possession in the opening 5 minutes.
Haven't really settled, have they, in this opening 5-minute period. You know, no surprises from Ipswich. Always going to go long towards Daryl Murphy. If you can't win the initial header, you know, you've got to be there or thereabouts to pick up the second balls.
Long kick from Ruddy. Again, it's Johnson against Chambers in the air. Johnson wins the header, but it's fallen nicely for Berra, and the Scottish international will launch it upfield straight away. Dealt with by Basong, calmly heads it to his goalkeeper John Ruddy, who has time just to give Basong a little round of applause before picking the ball up.
Terrific header, wasn't it? You know, OK, there's not a blue shirt. It's another poor ball. Giving away possession far too easily at the minute, Norwich City.
They've not settled into this one, Norwich, which is a bit of a concern for the 26,000 or so home supporters. It's back with Bilkowski, the Ipswich goalkeeper, in the orange boots, who launches the ball high upfield. Basong is winning most of these in the opening part of the game, and he's won that one as well. Ipswich, though, will turn it forward on the right flank. It's held up here by Daryl Murphy, played into the midfield where the former Bristol City man Cole Skews was waiting for it. Had a bit too much space for the Norwich fans like it. And Ipswich have now stroked it forward with Chambers. Basong again is there to cut it out, and it might run out towards the right flank for Redmond to set off after it. Mings beats him to it. Whittaker then gets himself caught out, and Mings comes forward. It's been a poor start by Norwich City. Mings to Kevin Brew, 25 yards from goal, helps it towards the left flank. It might run here for Paul Anderson. He's going to keep it in play by the corner flag over on that left wing. Norwich under early pressure at Carrow Road. Anderson gets the cross in. John Ruddy comes and takes it. 6 minutes gone, 0-0.
Well,
Ipswich have settled much more quickly than Norwich.
They're applying the pressure, aren't they? The team in blue.
But a long kick upfield from John Ruddy is causing a bit of panic. Jerome's gone down. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. And Ipswich have got the ball back again. That's been the pattern of this early part of the game. Chambers plays it long. Freddie Sears trying to get in behind Norwich here on the right flank. Up against Martin Olsen, holding him off. Gets to the ball. Sears with the cross. Basong is there again. He's seeing more of the ball than anybody in the opening 6.5 minutes for Norwich City. And most of the time he's having to clear the ball upfield. Now Jerome wins a header against Tommy Smith. It runs out of play. Ipswich throw in. But Alex Neil will be a bit concerned.
He will. But it's still very, very early doors. Norwich haven't started at all.
Long throw in from Chambers for Ipswich, collected by Daryl Murphy. Good tackle from Olsen, who now clears the ball long towards the halfway line. Tommy Smith heads the ball back into the Norwich half, but I think this one's going to bounce out of play for a throw in eventually, or is it? Yes, it does. Takes 2 or 3 bounces right on the touchline and then goes out, and Olsen throws it back to his goalkeeper. So first 7 minutes have flown by, and most of it has been played in the half at the Barclay end of the ground, which Ipswich are attacking. But now John Ruddy's played a good ball out to the right, and Whittaker, who crosses early towards the Ipswich penalty area, too close to the goalkeeper.
Oh, and look at Nathan Redmond, Chris. He's absolutely fuming with Stephen Whittaker. He'd made a lovely little run, to be fair, down that right-hand side. All it needed was a little pass slipped into his run, and he would have had a 1-against-1 against Christoph Vera.
But it didn't come. Whittaker eager to get the ball in the Ipswich penalty area, too eager, and he got it too close to the Polish goalkeeper Bilkowski, who's had very little to do in the opening 7.5 minutes, because all of the action has been at the Barclay end where Ipswich are attacking. But it's 0-0 at the moment. Here's Russell Martin for Norwich, to Howson in the midfield, and again to Russell Martin. A bit of Norwich possession, they'll feel better about that. Houlihan to Howson, and Norwich go back to their goalkeeper John Ruddy, dressed in all in black today. And I think the feeling for Norwich is just to start again almost, get a feel of the ball, get some possession.
Just get a touch, you know, keep the ball for a little period of time. This has been all the team in blue up till now.
The ball from Martin into the midfield where Houlihan gathers it. Houlihan preferred today to Graham Dorrans, and Houlihan's overdone that, and he's been tackled, and it went off Houlihan, and it's an Ipswich throw in. And Mick McCarthy, wearing a blue t-shirt and tracksuit bottoms, comes to the side of the pitch, thumbs up to his team. He'll be happy with the way they've started.
One too many touches by Wes, got to move that ball quicker. Don't get that time against Ipswich Town.
Tessie clearing the ball away. Houlihan busy this time, gets to the ball inside his own half. Bradley Johnson under real pressure from Kevin Brew, has to play it back to his goalkeeper. And John Ruddy collects it in front of the Barclay end. Johnson's such a good player for Norwich this season. 15 goals, 12 of them here at Carrow Road. Nobody scored more goals at Carrow Road this season than Bradley Johnson. And here he is now on halfway, chesting the ball down. Under pressure from Freddie Sears, has to play it back into his own half. Basong, who played under Mick McCarthy at Wolves briefly during a loan spell, has the ball up towards Bradley Johnson. Now some space for Johnson to bring the ball into, towards the left flank at Carrow Road. Olsen outside him. Olsen now tries to just quicken the game up, plays it towards the penalty area. Houlihan fails to control, and Tommy Smith will clear it away. But Norwich have got a chance to win it back here on halfway with Tetty. Header forward cut out by young Teddy Bishop, the 18-year-old in the Ipswich midfield. And now Ipswich in possession, but Tetty wins it back and finds Houlihan. Good play from Tetty. Houlihan sets off halfway inside the Ipswich half. He's steered it forward eventually to Jerome. Howson on the edge of the penalty area will find Nathan Redmond 25 yards out. He can't find Houlihan. It goes behind for a goal kick. That's Norwich's best moves. Oh, corner's been given. As that ball was threaded through, it must have taken a flick off an Ipswich player.
It's either come off Scouse or Christoph Vera.
Bilkowski, the keeper, just let it go, didn't he? He thought it was going to be a goal kick.
But that was better. You know, not trying to force things, just keeping the ball, some good movement coming in from the likes of Wes, from Cameron Jerome, from Nathan Redmond.
Yeah, Houlihan's first few touches a little bit wayward, but he's certainly involved in the game now. 10 minutes gone. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0. It's a corner to Norwich City. On the right flank, the first corner of the game. Basong and Jerome among the players in the penalty area. A flat delivery onto the head of Russell Martin. It's blocked by Tommy Smith. It may run for Redmond. He's won it brilliantly on the right flank. Brings it into the penalty area. Sets up Cameron Jerome, who's tackled. But it falls for Whittaker. Edge of the box. Whittaker tries a curling shot, which goes wide. Norwich showing at least in the game.
Yeah, he just couldn't get it from under his feet. He wanted to hit it with his right. Wasn't really suitable to get the shot with his right foot. Had to bring it to his left. And you could see he had no confidence whatsoever in that shot. But much better signs, we have to say, from Norwich City.
Yeah, Houlihan's first 2 or 3 touches were almost giving the ball away.
Yeah, and I think he's got to get a little bit closer to Cameron Jerome. for the first 5 minutes, I think he was so isolated up there on his own, was Cameron Jerome.
Bradley Johnson heads the ball up in the air inside his own half. Needs to work hard to win it back. It's Ipswich who get the ball. Chambers clips it forward on that right channel. Russell Martin senses the danger, clears it into the stands, into the Ipswich fans, and it's going to be an Ipswich throw-in. There's a couple of thousand Ipswich fans here, and they're in the stand that we're standing in there towards the right end of it, towards the Barclay end of this main stand. It's been taken by Ipswich, the throw-in. Chambers looking for Brew, who helps it back to Bishop into the Norwich penalty area, but doesn't pick out a blue shirt, and John Ruddy easily comes and gets it, and then looks to distribute the ball quickly, finds Redmond. In front of him is Whittaker on that right flank. Whittaker just hesitates with the ball inside the Ipswich half, goes back to Tetty, who's under pressure, and Ipswich are really closing Norwich down at the moment in the midfield, and they've had to go back to Russell Martin here in order to keep possession. 0-0 on BBC Radio Norfolk. The East Anglian Derby playoff semi-final. A 1-1 draw in the first leg 7 days ago. Jerome, that was an awkward one for him to control, but it's a mistake there by the Ipswich defence, Tommy Smith, but Chambers gets him out of jail, heads the ball away.
I just think he's got to get hold of that, Chris. I think he's tried to lay it off first time for Olsen.
A long ball forward from Ipswich. Murphy sensing a chance, and he's got the better of Basong here. Daryl Murphy on the right, crosses the ball in. John Ruddy gets it eventually. So parried it into the ground and picked it up at the second attempt.
But once again, I think there's a slight nudge. Murphy on Basong. Basong loses his balance, which then leaves Murphy in plenty of space down this right-hand side.
Now Mings is under pressure here from Redmond. The Ipswich left-back has got the ball and has cleared it away. Tetty gets to it on halfway and pushes it into the direction of Howson. Couldn't quite find Houlihan on the right, and Ipswich have cleared. But you can see that Redmond had Mings worried for a moment there.
There's so much space down this left-hand side for Martin Olsen. With Bradley Johnson, he's tucking in, he's in the centre circle at the minute. And if they can just switch play quickly, Olsen could get in down this left-hand side.
At the moment the ball's on the opposite side of the pitch with Russell Martin for Norwich City. Careful pass forward to Wes Houlihan. Houlihan sets off, tries to play it in behind that Ipswich defence on the right channel, but Jerome doesn't go after it, and he's gone behind him for a goal kick.
And that's what I'm saying, forcing things. You know, trying to put that killer pass in straight away, instead of maybe getting another pass in to open things out, which then might give you the space to slip either Howson and Cameron Jerome. The two up front were then.
It's that strange balance, isn't it, Ewan? We talk about players getting pumped up for a derby and the wonderful red-hot atmosphere, but you do have to be able to stay calm and collected.
Yeah, because sometimes you try things that you normally wouldn't in a game.
0-0, 13 minutes gone. Ipswich have possession with Brew. Hits a shot from a long, long way out that dribbles wide. Not quite sure what he was thinking of there. Just one goal to his name so far this season. The player they got from Levski Sofia last summer.
You can see why after that shot.
Was well off target.
Oh, dearly me.
Norwich won't mind if that's as close as Ipswich get all afternoon.
After that shaky first opening 5 minutes from Norwich, I think they've definitely settled down now.
They needed to, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Here's Russell Martin for Norwich City, the captain. Already celebrated 2 promotions as a Norwich player, looking for a third. That's not a good ball forward from Redmond again. Perhaps guilty of trying to force it there.
It is, but I don't think that's a bad ball by Redmond, because there's loads of space behind. I think it was Paul Anderson who'd gone with Whittaker's run. If Whittaker goes, then stops, and that's when Redmond puts the ball in.
Yeah, that made it look a worse decision than it actually was. Redmond heads the ball on. That's a nice header. Houlihan this time clips it forward. Berra gets his head to it importantly, but Jerome is going to get possession for Norwich on the right wing. He set up the goal at Portman Road last week, and he's taking on Ipswich here, and he's taken out by Berra. That's a Norwich free kick, not far away from the corner of the Ipswich box.
Brilliant play. Absolutely fantastic play from your centre forward. Big and strong, comfortable with the ball at his feet. Takes 2 players to bring him down in the end. Outstanding by Cameron Jerome now then. Good quality from this set piece.
Well, Jerome hasn't scored since that brilliant back heel in March against Nottingham Forest, but he set up the goal at Portman Road last week with a real bulldozing run down the Ipswich left. This time it was down the Norwich left, I should say. This time it was the Norwich right, and he's caused a bit of chaos and won a free kick for Norwich City. Just outside the corner of the box on the right, and there's an opportunity here for Norwich City. Ipswich bring everybody back. Redmond's going to take the free kick. Martin, Johnson, Howson, Basong and Jerome are all in the penalty area. Redmond stands with his hands on his hips. The referee, Roger East, is ready. He's just about to blow his whistle. Redmond plays the free kick, floated into the penalty area. Johnson nearly got there. It's fallen for Tetty on the edge of the penalty area. He's crowded out of it, so plays the ball back to Whittaker. Now where's Houlihan involved? Goes to the right and Redmond. Ipswich still with plenty back. Redmond will run at them. He'll go outside Freddie Sears. Redmond with the cross. It's blocked by Sears. And behind for a corner. Norwich at 0-0 here. They're starting to get on the front foot after 15 minutes.
Yeah, applying the pressure, aren't they? Turning that screw. Just wanted Alex Tetty to get that ball out of his feet and get one of those shots that we know he's capable of doing from 20-25 yards.
A couple of times a season they go in. Redmond with the corner for Norwich, from the right at the river end. Driven delivery towards the penalty spot. Russell Martin gets it down on the thigh and shoots, and it's off the line. Great effort from Russell Martin, blocked on the goal line though by Paul Anderson for Ipswich. And now Anderson has started a counter-attack. He set Freddie Sears away on the left. Whittaker bouncing back to get after him, and does get after him and puts the ball out for a throw-in. That was a close one. Russell Martin's shot. Anderson was on the post and cleared it off the line.
I've got a feeling it might have been going wide. But, you know, decent effort, decent shot. Great defending in the end by Whittaker, getting himself right back there.
Russell Martin scored in that 5-1 win at Portman Road. And these two sides were last in the Championship together. And had he scored there, it would have got an even bigger cheer than that one did. 0-0. Norwich though with an opportunity. 16.5 minutes gone. Ipswich have possession on halfway with Cole Skews. Played forward, 4-1. It's going to roll out of play from Norwich throw-in their right-back position. Norwich, if you are just joining us, made a full start to this one. Ipswich spent the first 5 minutes on the attack without threatening John Ruddy's goal. Norwich have since clawed their way back into it in terms of a contest and had that opportunity there from Russell Martin. But it's 0-0 and just as tight, just as tense as we thought it would be.
It was never going to be anything else, was it? Never going to be anything else this game today. You know, talk about cup finals, this is a massive cup final for both teams.
The one thing that everyone said this week, Ewan, is that the first goal is vital.
Yeah, I can see why. If Ipswich get it, then you might think that Mick will change his tactics slightly and get them to defend, as Middlesbrough did here a few weeks ago. If Norwich get an early goal, then... Well, not an early goal, it's just 17 minutes into the game, but if Norwich get the first goal, then you could see them going on to maybe getting 2 or 3.
We'll see if that can happen. Houlihan brilliantly holds the ball in play on the right flank and then plays it forward along that line for Jerome to cause more problems for Ipswich here. Tight to the touchline on the right. He's got there ahead of Christoph Berra. He's stronger than Berra. Can Jerome get the cross in? No, Berra fights back and eventually puts the ball out for a throw in. He's doing that to good effect, Jerome, isn't he?
I think he knows he's got the beating of both Berra and Smith on the floor. He's quicker than both, and at the minute he's looking stronger than both.
Norwich have possession, right wing with Houlihan. He's tackled, the ball almost runs for Redmond. He's putting Paul Anderson under pressure. Anderson's clearance lands out of play. A Norwich throw in, level with the Ipswich penalty area. 0-0 on BBC Radio Norfolk. Here's Houlihan getting the ball to Whittaker. Tetty's available and in space, but Whittaker's going to play safe and go further back to Basong on halfway. Basong comes striding forward, clips it out towards the right flank. An ambitious ball cut out by Tyrone Mings. Ipswich don't make anything of it though, and Norwich a gifted possession back on the halfway line with the captain Russell Martin. Houlihan's taken up a good position there, and the ball was straight to him, but he couldn't control it.
And that's the position that he takes up so well. Just drops off a little bit deeper in between the defence and the midfield thought. Has plenty of time to turn and get the ball out of his feet. Just a poor touch then.
And now Whittaker has to clear the ball from the edge of the Norwich penalty area for an Ipswich throw-in. He's been a little bit erratic at the start of this game, Houlihan, hasn't he?
I mean, the majority of play from Norwich has come down that right-hand side, which rightly so, because you've got Redmond down there. You haven't really got an actual winger on this left-hand side with Bradley Johnson, who's tucking a little bit further infield than he normally would do. And that just gives more room then for Martin Olsen to get up and down this left wing.
Ipswich have won a corner. Teddy Bishop's cross blocked by Whittaker, and behind for Ipswich's first corner of the game. You know how dangerous they can be from these with Smith and Berra. 10 goals between the two Ipswich central defenders this season, and they're coming forward here along with Chambers, who's also been on target this season. Ipswich corner taken from the left, driven in towards the near post, cut out by Tetty. It's fallen for Bishop in the penalty area. He throws himself to the floor, and the referee is not buying that.
Well, and he doesn't appeal for the penalty either, and if he's slipped or has he taken the dive, it's hard for us to tell from here. But if he's taken the dive, I think the referee should be having a word with him.
Well, if it was a dive, it was such an embarrassing one. He didn't even bother appealing for the penalty. Teddy Bishop, the 18-year-old, who's playing his 35th game of professional football today. 35 games into his career, and he's playing in this, the East Anglian Derby playoff semi-final.
Not bad for your 35th game, is it?
That's all right, isn't it? Long kick forward from the Ipswich goalkeeper, headed away momentarily by Norwich, but here's Bishop again, busy, crossing from the left, and it's Russell Martin this time who clears the ball away.
Hopefully, Chris, is 36, won't be at Wembley.
Yes, I'll definitely go along with you on that one. 0-0, 20 minutes gone, 1-1 on aggregate. Ipswich now with Cole Skews, holding off Wes Houlihan. Houlihan doing his best to stay with him and just delaying the pass from Skews, but eventually it is worked towards the left, and Tyrone Mings, this rangy left back who does like to get forward. Redmond, though, has done his defensive duties well there. He's tracked back and put the ball out for a throw into Ipswich, which has been taken into the penalty area. Bounces over Freddie Sears, and John Ruddy comes to get it.
But once again, Chris, yes, it bounces over Freddie Sears, but it's too easily taken quickly by Mings, right by that corner flag. For the split second, Norwich fall asleep, and that then enables Mings to throw that ball long and high in towards Freddie Sears, and luckily the bounce was too high for Sears.
0-0. Russell Martin carries the ball now towards the halfway line and plays it off to the right wing, and Whittaker, very animated Mick McCarthy just in front of Whittaker there on the touchline as the ball is played long now by Norwich. Jerome trying to put Tommy Smith under pressure. Tommy Smith tries to chest it back to his goalkeeper, and Jerome nearly got in. And the goalkeeper in the end has dived on the ball, but that was shaky defending from Ipswich.
And good anticipation from Cameron Jerome. It's a difficult ball for Christophe there, or Tommy Smith, to deal with. It's not coming down too quickly for him, doesn't get enough on the header.
Now a long ball forward from Ipswich, one header straight through to John Ruddy.
That'll do, won't it? That will do.
Well, I think Jerome does feel he's going to get some joy out of this Ipswich defence.
And you spoke about it before with the absence of Lewis Grabban, the pace that he brings to the side. And you're right, you look at the Ipswich back four, all big, strong, physically strong, tall boys. But do they like being turned? Do they like a forward who's got a bit of pace about him, who can play on their shoulders and force them to run towards their own goal? They will hate that.
Yeah, and a lesson that Lewis Grabban's still suspended from that sending off he had at Rotherham in the last away game of the season. A moment of madness, a moment of silliness, and still paying for it today. Chambers puts the ball in the penalty area at 0-0. Ipswich have it with Murphy. Crosses, blocked by Tetty. Ball bounces out of play. Ipswich throw it.
Brilliant by Alex Tetty. What he's doing, he's picking Daryl Murphy when he comes short for the ball. And then that obviously means that you've still got your two central defenders in the penalty box waiting for that cross to come in.
Tetty playing it Carrow Road today for the first time since his own goal proved decisive in the game against Middlesbrough. Chambers laying the ball off to Bishop. Now Brew crosses from the right for Ipswich. John Ruddy's going to come and get that one, and he does, under pressure from Mings. Good, confident goalkeeper.
Brilliant by Big John. You know, you want your goalkeeper to be authoritative in his penalty box. Comes for that, makes the decision early, and takes the pressure off his defenders. Outstanding goalkeeping.
Linked with Chelsea again this week, John Ruddy. Or whatever happens over the summer, some of these players may not play at Carrow Road for Norwich again after today. There's always a churn in the summer.
And that's, you know, if that's how big a game this is. You know, if they do fail today, how many of these players will be here next year?
Here comes Sears for Ipswich, halfway inside the Norwich half already, waiting for some support. Bishop then works it out to the left, and it's Brew who's taken up a promising position for Ipswich. Little 1-2 between Bishop and Brew. Now it's Murphy angling it out to the left. Kevin Brew level with the Norwich penalty area, marked tightly by Whittaker. Bishop comes across to lend a hand, and Ipswich have got the ball right almost by the corner flag there on the left, and a challenge comes in, and the flag has gone up for offside, because with Bishop and Brew standing so close together, one of them just strayed beyond the Norwich defensive line, and they've given away a careless offside.
And good defending by Howson and Whittaker, patient, you know, that they didn't get sucked into making a rash challenge that you might do, especially in a big game like this. Just stayed on their feet, forced the two Ipswich boys. Well, go on then, you try and beat us. You see if you've got enough about you to beat us and get a cross in, and they didn't.
0-0, 24 minutes gone. That's the voice of Ewan Roberts, who is keenly watching this one with us. A man who was on the pitch before this game, being introduced to the crowd as a former Norwich East Anglian Derby goal scorer. You see, when you do that, they never forget it, Ewan. That is what is on the line for one of these players today.
15 years ago as well, dearie me. Where does time go?
Tetty will challenge for it. And the ball is going to bounce out of play. Tetty's furious here with Cameron Jerome. He's giving him an absolute rocket over something.
I'm not too sure whether he thinks Cameron can work a little bit harder, putting the goalkeeper under pressure than he is. I'm not too sure.
He certainly wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he, Alex Tetty? You always know what he's thinking. And there, it was not particularly complimentary thoughts about Cameron Jerome, and he let him have it with both barrels. 0-0, 25 minutes played on BBC Radio Norfolk. Still no separating Norwich City and Ipswich Town. We're about a quarter of the way through this second leg, as we already are. Well, a quarter of the way through the 90 minutes. There could be more. The song clears the ball away. The ball's gone out of play here, and it's going to be an Ipswich throw-in. That was all a bit scrappy. Ipswich have a throw halfway inside the Norwich half. Luke Chambers looking keen on this one. Throws it short to Paul Anderson on this right flank. Anderson waits, now tries to step it up a gear, lays the ball into the channel. Basong should deal with this one for Norwich City. Murphy, though, is putting him under pressure. Basong clears the ball against Murphy, and then it comes back off Basong, and it's gone behind for a corner. Norwich got themselves a bit boxed in there.
Yeah, and it was good play by Bradley Johnson initially, because Anderson's got the ball. He wants to go down the right-hand side into Chambers, but Bradley forces him inside on his left foot. He doesn't want to do that. He gives the ball away, but somehow Ipswich have won this corner.
Which Brew will take from the right. in front of the Barclay end. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Decent delivery. Murphy nearly got his head to that one. It's run back out towards the right here, and Brew, who belts the cross in here towards the far post, beyond everybody, and they'll go out for a throw in. They're not making the most of their set piece opportunities.
A bit ambitious with that cross, wasn't he? On the half volley, he'd have been better taking a touch and maybe going back towards Luke Chambers.
0-0. Long kick forward from Norwich City, on by the head of Berra. Tetty chests it forward towards Johnny Howson, who's not really got involved in this game yet. Ball runs free. Whittaker makes it his and gets it forward towards Cameron Jerome, who does ever so well to hold the ball in play, but the referee brings the play back for an advantage. A foul on Whittaker after he'd already played.
But you've just touched on Johnny Howson there. I think he has got a slightly different role this week, because obviously they're playing with the two sitting midfielders, and we've spoken about it, the way Ipswich play. It's vital that both Tetty and Howson's probably moved a little bit further upfield now and just left Tetty to shadow the two central defenders for Norwich.
Long kick forward from Martin, cut out at the back by Tommy Smith for Ipswich. Brew takes control of the ball in midfield. Teddy Bishop trying to hurry it forward, but to no effect, because Russell Martin's intercepted and now found Johnny Howson on halfway to Alex Tetty. Now Olsen's in space on this left flank. Tetty eventually spots him and gives him the ball. Olsen, though, decides not to carry the ball forward. He gives it back to Alex Tetty. Forward to Bradley Johnson now, who's coming to a central position.
Also wants the ball in front of him, Chris.
Yeah,
there's plenty of space in here down this left-hand side. Just put the ball in there. Russell
Martin bombing forward on the right flank. He's going to cross the ball into the penalty area. It's Martin. Jerome up with the header, just beaten in the air. Wes Houlihan's trying to get into this one with his back to goal. Heads it to the edge of the box. Controlled by Bradley Johnson. Flick towards the left of the penalty area. Houlihan makes sure that he gets to the ball first. Now can he make something happen? A reverse pass towards Bradley Johnson. Couldn't quite get there. And it was blasted off Johnson by the Ipswich defence and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just unlucky. You know, it was the right ball to play in. Bradley made a lovely little infield run from this left-hand channel. Alex Tetty, he was a little bit further up the field than he probably normally has been in the opening 27 minutes of this game.
Not many chances.
No, few and far between, like last week's really.
Yeah, 0-0. 28 minutes gone. We had that one that was possibly cleared off the line from Paul Anderson. You think it might have been going wide, the effort from Russell Martin that Anderson cleared, but I don't know. A Norwich fan comes to the edge of the pitch and heads that ball back onto the pitch. That was one of the best bit of aerial play we've seen today from a Norwich fan, who headed the ball beyond Luke Chambers, who was waiting to take the throw in. And now he is ready. Chambers, heavily tattooed right arm. See that with his short sleeves. Throws the ball forward on the right touchline. Cleared away by Tetty. Runs towards the halfway line. And Chambers again just launches that one forward. Howson trying to get himself under it. He's missed it. We'll get there at the second attempt. However, it's not a good header. He's given it away to Freddie Sears. The former Colchester striker brings the ball out towards the left flank. 3 to aim for in the penalty area. The cross comes in. The Song meets it and heads the ball away. It needs winning again here from Norwich City, and it hasn't been won again. That's a good tackle from Whittaker on Sears, but Wes Houlihan has ended up playing it back towards his own box. Norwich playing themselves into trouble. Daryl Murphy's header, though, runs free, and John Ruddy comes to get it. Norwich, their own worst enemy at times here.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're not under pressure, that's when you need a cool head. Just maybe bring the ball down and thread a little ball into Cameron Jerome's feet or down that right-hand side for Nathan Redmond.
Russell Martin, he goes route one. Firing it long for Cameron Jerome to try to work for him. Jerome's got his head to it, and it's fallen for Wes Houlihan, and again Houlihan's control has let him down. He got the ball in a great position,
bounced
30 yards
off his
from goal, and it bounced away from him. That keeps happening today.
And for 1 minute or a split second, I thought Wes had looked up, saw that the goalkeeper was off his line. I thought he was going to hit it first time.
Maybe he was thinking about that and then forgot to control the ball. I don't know, but in this first half an hour, most of Houlihan's touches have...
Yes, but he does make a difference. And I have been quite critical of Wes over the past 12, 18 months. But on his day, you know, he's unplayable, especially at championship level.
Bradley Johnson's just given away a foul. Or the card is coming out for Bradley Johnson, sliding in. First real sliding challenge of the game. Bradley Johnson's got a yellow card for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised the referee's got into his pocket and pulled the yellow card out. He's slightly late, it's not malicious. If there's any intent in there whatsoever, I think, you know, especially in a big, huge game with an atmosphere like this, maybe you let a player get away with one.
Yeah, referee Roger East hasn't. It's been the first half an hour. Surprisingly, the challenges haven't really been flying in, have they? There haven't been many nasty ones. That was the first one that was mistimed rather than malicious, and Johnson's been booked. Free kick taken by Paul Anderson, hung into the penalty area here, headed across goal. John Ruddy comes to get it. There was a foul anyway. Murphy was climbing all over the Norwich defender as he won the header, but it didn't matter because it went through to John
Well
Ruddock.
done, Sebastian Bisson. You know, if you can't win the first header, you just make sure that you get your body in close to that Ipswich player, make sure he can't really get a good enough header to cause you a problem.
The song's really on it today, isn't he? He's the one for Norwich City. He's not missed anything
At
yet.
the minute, he's reading everything, isn't he?
Now ball played forward by Norwich. Jerome has beaten the offside trap here. He's chased it out towards the right flank. He's got it, level with the Ipswich penalty area. Cameron Jerome holding it up, waiting for some support to arrive, but in the end just has too much to do. And Christoph Berra clears the ball away, but not very convincingly. It's fallen for Whittaker inside the Ipswich half, and then it's a poor ball to Tetty, and Norwich have given it away. And then Ipswich play an awful ball forward. It's gone out for a throw-in. Not sure whether it's the occasion that's getting to these teams yet, Ewan, but it's not great, is it?
A few mistakes, isn't there? Which is understandable. Just needed a shout then, did Alex Tetty. A little bit of information from his teammates. Don't turn, have a touch. Freddy Sears is on your shoulder.
It really is a tense game, this one. Both sides making mistakes. 0-0. Whittaker, he'll go long. Jerome won't get that one. He'll be headed by Berra.
It's not just a playoff semi-final, it's a playoff semi-final against your bitter rivals.
Yes, no wonder the occasion is getting to some. Now, Jerome has just been shoved in the back. Free kick for Norwich City. You can see those little bits of burst balloon on the pitch around where Cameron Jerome is just on his haunches, so a little sign of the festival atmosphere that was created before this game. Jerome's had the wind knocked out of his sails a little bit here, hasn't he?
Yeah, you don't want him going off after half an hour. I think he's done well, his movement's been good. He's caused both Smith and Berra problems when he's made those runs down both channels.
He's not leaving the pitch, Jerome, he's just walked across to get a drink. He's going to be okay. But he is going to take a battering when you're the only centre forward and you're up against Chambers, Smith, Berra and Mings.
Tough job, Chris, tough job that is.
You are going to get kicked. And he's been kicked and he's won a free kick for Norwich City. 0-0, we're in the 33rd minute. Houlihan takes the free kick short to the right wing and Redmond. Houlihan then continues a run forward. Redmond keeps the ball to himself, brings it towards the corner of the box. Houlihan's trying to get into a good position for the pass, but Redmond keeps the ball to himself, accelerates here against Freddie Sears, and in the end slips over, loses the ball, and Ipswich clear, and Norwich do not make the most of that opportunity.
I have to say, once again, terrific defending by Freddie Sears. He's a centre forward, but he's got himself back there for the side, working hard and defending like a defender did. Well,
Wes Houlihan did his best for Norwich there, didn't he? He got into a couple of good positions, and Redmond opted not to try and give him the ball.
And I can't blame Nathan for that. He is a winger, he wants to take players on, but sometimes, especially when you've got two defenders picking you up, you're better to get rid of the ball.
12 minutes to go to half-time, 0-0. Bradley Johnson plays the ball forward into that left channel. Jerome gets his head down and gets after it and puts Tommy Smith under pressure, and Smith looked a bit panic-stricken there, and he's put the ball out for a throw-in. I think he remembered what happened to him last week.
See, and that's my point with Cameron Jerome. He does work hard. It's a hard role. You've got to work down both flanks, and you've got to try and make bad balls into good balls, and him just putting a little bit of pressure on Christoph Berra. He's won a throw-in for his side.
0-0. Throw-in taken by Olsen, level with the Ipswich penalty area. He gets it back from Houlihan, who then works it to Bradley Johnson. Norwich go back further still to Basong. Basong on this left wing. He's played it back into his own half, and Russell Martin. It's given Ipswich a chance just to make sure that everybody's back behind the ball. And Tetty and Martin are just playing 1-2s inside their own half at the moment. You can see that's getting to Norwich fans more than it usually would.
They've got to be patient, Chris. The Ipswich are very organised. That's how Mick sets his teams up. They've got to be patient. Don't get on the players' backs.
I just realised that I think Alex Tetty's wearing blue football boots against Ipswich. Someone needs to have a word with him at half-time.
Brave man.
Can't have that. Russell Martin, high ball forward from him. Oh, Mings has misjudged it, and it might fall for Whittaker on the right. Whittaker crosses into the penalty area. Jerome is having his shirt pulled in there, but nobody spots it, and it's cleared away by Ipswich Town. Basong's header. And Russell Martin chases after it under pressure from Daryl Murphy. Martin's going to have to clear this into the stands, and he does.
I just think maybe Stephen Whittaker would have been better letting that ball in out of play for the corner.
Because it flicked off the top of Mings' head, didn't it? But I think Whittaker thought, well, I've charged half the length of the pitch. I'm going to do something with this now. I've got to it. Bishop has the ball for Ipswich. They're trying to work it on the left here with Cole Skews. No further forward now. Norwich are doing really well to force Ipswich back into their own half here. From the halfway line, they've gone all the way back to their goalkeeper.
Defensively, both teams have been absolutely outstanding in this opening 35 minutes. They're keeping their discipline, keeping their shape superbly.
0-0.
Hence the lack of creativity and chances.
Yeah, defence is well and truly on top at the moment. Good defensive header from Olsen. Bradley Johnson collects the ball. He's tackled though inside his own half. That might open things up. Paul Anderson crosses from the right for Ipswich. Russell Martin stabs it away, but only as far as Brew, who hits the shot way off target again.
Can someone tell Kevin Brew's only scored 1 goal this season? Why on earth is he shooting from that distance?
That's twice he's had a go, and they're getting further away.
You'd have thought he'd have learned after that shocking first one that he had. But from a Norwich point of view, you'll be absolutely delighted seeing him shoot from, 35 yards?
Yeah, this is... I thought once the game started and after all the build-up, the tension might ease a bit and we could get into it, but it's getting worse if anything, isn't it? Look, Jerome has pulled up again here as Norwich play a long ball forward. He went down a little while ago, didn't he, Cameron Jerome? And he took that knock in the back.
He went down then in the centre circle and there was no one anywhere near him.
And this is a concern for Norwich City. Jerome, who has looked lively in this game.
Is it a head problem that he's got?
Took that free kick he won earlier, whether he took a knock to the head and...
Is he slightly concussed?
Feeling a bit dizzy, a bit dazed, I don't know.
Physios are on having a word. They're obviously not treating him, are they? They're just talking to Cameron. He won't want to leave. This is the pitch injured.
The problem for Norwich City, they haven't got Lewis Graben today because of injury, for suspension. Their top scorer, Cameron Jerome, is now sitting in the centre circle, 2 medical staff with him.
I mean, they've probably got the best finisher at the club sat on the bench, but he wouldn't give you as much of a physical presence and pace as Cameron Jerome does.
Gary Hooper.
Yes.
Yeah. He may have to come on because Jerome is still sitting in the centre circle at the moment. And Norwich medical staff, they don't seem, as you say, they've got their medical bags on with them, but they don't seem to be doing much with them. They're talking to him, aren't they? So that would suggest that perhaps it is a knock to the head, and they're a bit worried about that. I can see that the ambulance crew in their fluorescent jackets have also appeared by the side of the pitch now. Jerome's up on his feet. He's being brought to the side of the pitch by the Norwich medical staff. He's moving fine, he can walk okay.
I'm looking at the subs, they're all warming up. None of the 3 has been called over to the dugout to get himself ready. But maybe that's a good sign.
There doesn't seem to be any great hurry about this with Cameron Jerome, does there? So
just got to make sure he's okay with head injuries these days.
And it's 0-0. Stoppage. Jerome will rejoin the game in just a few moments. Of course, while Jerome was having that bit of treatment, or that bit of a talking to from the physios, a lot of the Norwich players took the opportunity to get across and talk to Alex Neil, or at least it's probably the other way around. Alex Neil took the opportunity to get them over there and get a few messages across. Jerome's back on the field. Ipswich have sportingly played the ball back to John Ruddy, and with 7 minutes to go to half-time, the game can begin again. 0-0, not many chances, really tense, really tight. Everything you thought that it probably would be. John Ruddy plays the ball forward long. Bradley Johnson rises, tries to head it on, easily cleared by Cole Skews for Ipswich, and cleared long. Basong, who's been Norwich's man of the first half, certainly, controls the ball well inside his own half and then gives it to Russell Martin.
Brilliant play once again for Basong, but please don't take that much time again. Nearly gave me a heart attack.
But again, it's one of those where if Norwich were playing Sheffield Wednesday today, you probably wouldn't mind him doing that, but it's the playoff game, it's Ipswich. Your heart's in the mouth constantly, isn't it, watching this? Basong to Bradley Johnson. Now Olsen, Norwich left back, they've got it inside their own half, they've gone back to Sebastian Basong again. This time he's a little bit quicker with his passing, back to his goalkeeper John Ruddy. Right-footed long ball forward. Ipswich is going to get it this time with Mings, a looping header into the Norwich half. Tessie makes sure he gets that one, Whittaker helps it on. It's there to be 1 on halfway. Mings gets to it, and with a bit of help from Teddy Bishop and then Christoph Berra, they've got it all the way back to their goalkeeper Bartosz Białkowski. It's a stalemate.
Nathan Redmond's got to do better there. You know, he's got himself in front of Tyrone Mings. I think he's just too easily knocked off the ball as the ball's rolling up to him.
Long kick forward. The song wins for Norwich City. It's inside the Norwich half, and the referee's bringing it back for a foul on the song.
He's been outstanding in this 39 minutes.
He's been wonderful, isn't he, the song?
Absolutely.
He's not missed anything. And remember, he played some games for Watford earlier this season as the long ball is played by Norwich, but Białkowski will come and get it, the goalkeeper. Yeah, Basong, I don't know whether he played enough games for Watford to get a championship winners medal, but if he now goes up with Norwich as well, he could be promoted twice from the same division in the same season.
Watford didn't win it, did they?
Oh, that's true, no, they didn't. Well, there they are, he didn't then. He won't get a medal. Ball headed away.
Sorry, Chris.
Well, you used to play for them, so you'd know. And now here's Jerome, heads it on. Houlihan races over the halfway line. Now, where's Houlihan's away here? He's turning the Ipswich defence, edge of the penalty area, waits for Howson to arrive. Johnny Howson's low shot is blocked, and then he slips over, and they'll bring it away.
No belief in that shot whatsoever.
And then Mings has fouled Whittaker. Free kick to Norwich City.
I think Johnny could have taken a touch and got himself closer towards the goal.
Jerome hits a shot from distance high over the bar.
40 yards, Cameron. I think it's the wrong option. But great play by Wes. fully aware what's around him. He's seen Johnny Howson make a great run down that right-hand side, slips a perfect ball into him. Just have a touch, take it closer, but he decides to shoot from just outside the penalty box, and he goes with the inside of his foot instead of just going with his laces, putting his foot through the ball. Yeah, probably the best opening that Norwich have created.
That was Houlihan's best moment of the game, wasn't it, as well? There's now Russell Martin with an up and under. Jerome might get this. Edge of the Ipswich penalty area, holds off Tommy Smith. Oh, and then he's tackled by Mings. He thought he'd done the hard work there, Jerome, to get to the ball, but Ipswich just had that extra defender and got the ball off him. And they've played it towards the halfway line. And now Kevin Brew stabs it forward. Basong will battle for it. It's come off an Ipswich head. Olsen needs to clear for Norwich City and does. Hooks it into the Ipswich half. Houlihan setting off after it. Ball is bounced though here for Tommy Smith, who screws the ball up in the air towards the halfway line. It hits Kevin Brew. It's all very untidy. Ipswich play it forward. Basong heads it out of play. Throw in. It's getting worse, this game, isn't it?
Not an inch being given or taken by either side. Both sets of players working their absolute socks off when they haven't got the ball to win it back as soon as they can.
And it's a free kick for a foul on Olsen in the Norwich left-back position. Yeah, you can only talk about the occasion, can't you? And everyone knows what's at stake here, and that explains a lot as to what is going on out there, why players are forcing it a bit, why they look a bit tighter when they've got the ball. It's not flowing at all, is it?
A few mistakes, having a bad touch when you expect that player to control that ball perfectly. It is understandable.
It's not that pretty to watch at the moment. 3 minutes to go to half-time. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0 on BBC Radio Norfolk. John Ruddy, the Norwich goalkeeper, takes a free kick from his left-back position, launches it upfield. It's an Ipswich head that wins it. Teti tries to keep it in the Ipswich half. Good header on by Howson. He's going to get there again, is Howson. And he's teed up Redmond here, halfway inside the Ipswich half. Quick feet from Redmond to Howson. Now wide to the right and Whittaker. Good move from Norwich City. Whittaker's picked out Redmond. Edge of the Ipswich penalty area. On the right, back to Whittaker. His cross into the penalty area is a good one. Chambers has headed it away though for Ipswich. And then Teti's been beaten to the second ball. But Russell Martin retrieves the situation. Floats it towards the left flank. Anderson gets his head to it for Ipswich. Norwich throw in.
Got to say, every time either Ipswich or Norwich crossed that ball, Basong, Martin have been outstanding, Berren, Smith have been outstanding.
Now Olsen crosses from the left, too high for Jerome. Mings tries to take a touch in the penalty area. It's fallen for Howson, whose shot is blocked. And Ipswich clear the ball away again.
Howson again, with the ability that he's got, he has got a decent strike on him. I'd expect better. Mistake by Tyrone Mings though.
Yeah, 9 goals this season for Johnny Howson. The 9th of them coming last week at Portman Road. He's only scored twice at home, Johnny Howson. 2 minutes to half-time. Norwich starting to just enjoy a bit of a spell of dominance. 0-0. Howson, really good ball out towards the right. He's picked out Whittaker here, deep inside the Ipswich half. Whittaker doesn't want to take on Tyrone Mings, who sees him back towards the halfway line. Whittaker plays it inside now to Johnny Howson. Howson to Teti, who will surge forward for Norwich City. Oh, poor ball from Teti. Couldn't find Bradley Johnson. It's just going to run away for an Ipswich throw.
And you know what? He makes a great overlapping run to give Howson the option just to thread the ball into his run. Just a lack of concentration for the split second by Alex Teti, and it's a wasted opportunity for Norwich down this left-hand side.
Norwich 0, Ipswich 0. Just over a minute until half-time, then we'll have stoppages as well. And you still cannot separate these two sides. 0-0 here, 1-1 on aggregate. Russell Martin to Stephen Whittaker. Whittaker goes long, too long, straight through to the goalkeeper Bilkowski. And you said before the game, Ewan, about wanting Norwich to test Bartosz Bilkowski. They haven't in this first half at all.
At all, have they? Haven't got any type of shot on goal that's forced him into a save or to come and collect the cross.
Now Ipswich clear the ball upfield again, long. Controlled by Paul Anderson. And Brew in the midfield here. Brew marked by Teti, so has to work it towards the left flank. Sears is there, good tackle from Whittaker, throw into Ipswich Town.
Did well, then he stayed on his feet. Good defending by Stephen Whittaker.
If you tuned in for the 1 o'clock news on BBC Radio Norfolk, we'll bring that to you just as soon as we reach half-time. And this big East Anglian derby, second leg of the playoff semi-final. It's 0-0 between Norwich City and Ipswich Town here at Carrow Road, 1-1 on aggregate as Russell Martin hooks the ball out of play. And the garden party, which is usually on a Saturday lunchtime, will follow this programme at 4 o'clock, so 4 till 6 for our regular garden party programme today on BBC Radio Norfolk. There will be 3 minutes of added time at the end of this half, so we're 3 minutes away from half-time. Ipswich scored in first half stoppage time at Portman Road. Let's hope they don't do it at Carrow Road. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0. Throw-in coming up from Mings, level with the Norwich penalty area. He's going to loop the long throw in into the box, and Norwich head wins it. Falls for Redmond, and Redmond blasts the ball upfield. It's Jerome who's now going to hold it up on halfway, and he does really well, and he set Redmond away on the right. Redmond over halfway. Mings, though, is quick and has got back at him, and Redmond is forced to just almost head back towards his own half there and win a throw.
I mean, Mings is quick, but I think Nathan's got 3 yards on him there, and there's plenty of space for him to run into.
They're just not really taking a chance, are they, the Norwich players here?
No, they're not. And a really good hold-up play by Cameron Jerome, just what you want off your centre forward. Battling against the central defender, getting hold of the ball, waiting for that support to come up. Laid it up superbly for Nathan Redmond. Just get that ball out your feet and have a race with Mings. See who's the quickest.
Long kick forward from Ipswich. Whittaker gets his head to that one. Will fall for Tetty. Paul Anderson wanted it, chopped the ball out of play. It's a high kick, and it's a throw in for Norwich City. Mick McCarthy, there he is, wandering around on the side of the pitch. Typical style, leaning back almost, isn't he, Mick McCarthy, always? Trying to make himself look as tall as possible. Waving his team on. Alex Neil, the less animated of the two managers at the moment, but that may not be the case when he gets them into the sanctuary of the dressing room in a couple of minutes' time. 0-0. Redmond heads the ball on. Howson on halfway, trying to just get his foot on the ball, but it's so congested in there, there's just no room for anyone to operate. And it's going to go out of play for a Norwich throw.
I think Alex Neil defensively, he'll be very pleased with his team's performance from an attacking point of view. I think he'll be demanding a little bit more quality in the final third. That's the only thing that's lacking at the minute.
Whittaker plays it long. It's gone behind Christoph Berra. Houlihan couldn't make it his. But then Ipswich play it forward towards Daryl Murphy, who chests it down. Basong tries to force the ball away from him. Basong is really strong. And eventually Kevin Brew comes across to help out though, and Ipswich have got the ball forward. Tetty with a good challenge. Then Mings on halfway. Howson misses the challenge. Tetty misses the challenge, but the ball's rebounded out of play for a Norwich throw. And this is so scrappy, so untidy.
Once again, Nathan Redmond's got to be stronger. He's shoved off the ball far too easily by Tyrone Mings there.
In the final minute of stoppage time, about 30 seconds to go until half-time. Not too many chances to talk of from either side. And Whittaker's just won another throw in for Norwich City. We had 90 minutes which couldn't separate Norwich or Ipswich at Portman Road. We're about to get through the first 45 at Carrow Road. We're still absolutely locked in the heat of this playoff battle. Norwich have just got a free kick on halfway, with Jerome being wrestled to the ground, not for the first time today.
I think it's everything we expected this first 45 minutes, and there we go.
Half-time. Half-time. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0 on BBC Radio Norfolk. Can barely remember a serious shot at goal. There was one from Russell Martin, which Paul Anderson kicked away from goal. It may have been going wide anyway, but neither Bartosz Bielkowski nor John Ruddy, the two goalkeepers, have had very much to do in terms of real difficult saves to make. The two sides have given what we expected. Ipswich have been very agricultural at times. They've been very effective. They've been very efficient. But Norwich have dealt with it really well today. At the other end, players like Houlihan, Redmond and Howson, Norwich's big attacking threats, haven't really got going, and it's stalemate at half-time. Well, Ewan Roberts has been a big-time player, so you tell me, Ewan, what will it have been like in the Norwich dressing room at half-time?
Very quiet, everybody hanging on every word that Alex Neil had said to them. How the information that he's given, how they're going to break this stubborn Ipswich defence down. It's 45 minutes, 45 minutes to go and make yourself a hero.
Well, the game is back underway, and I can tell you that neither side has made any half-time substitutions. And we'll remind you of the lineups in a moment, but Redmond straight away is running at Ipswich here at the Barclay end. Berra gets the challenge in. The ball's going to run away, I think, for a Norwich throw, level with the Ipswich penalty area. Maybe that's a little sign as to what Alex Neil was saying at half-time.
Just wanted to hit it, didn't he?
Couldn't quite get the space, though. Whittaker with this throw for Norwich. Gets it back from Wes Hoolahan, tees up Johnny Howson on this right wing, into the channel for Hoolahan, corner of the penalty area. Great play from Wes Hoolahan. He's given it to Howson, who cuts it back here. Jerome with his back to goal, goes down. It falls for Johnny Howson. Can he work some room for the shot? He's teed up Alton in the penalty area here. And now Whittaker, someone's got to have the shot. They don't, and Ipswich clear it all. Hey, they finally got in behind Ipswich, and they didn't even get a shot at goal there.
Was Cameron Jerome being pulled? Was his shirt being pulled there as that ball's played into him? Just couldn't get turned. I'm not sure if it was Berra or Smith, but from here they looked as if they had a handful of his shirt.
Now Redmond is really at it at the start of this second half. A couple of lovely touches from him, and he brings the ball into the middle here and finds Howson. Howson couldn't pick up Johnson, and it's been cleared upfield, and Ipswich will counter-attack now, and it's Freddie Sears. Sears up towards the edge of the penalty area, doing it by himself at the moment. Here's a shot off target. Oh, action at both ends at the start of the second half.
And that's where you might fear for Norwich, when they're throwing players forward, when they're attacking, when they're getting the balls into the Ipswich box, and then you've got that transitional period where Ipswich win the ball and they can counter-attack quickly. But once again, really good defending, experienced defending by Basong. Freddie Sears, he wants to come inside, but Basong forces him on his outside, forced him to shoot from long distance at an awkward angle for him. Never going to trouble John Ruddy.
It's quite an amusing moment then as Ipswich broke forward. There was a big green beach ball on the pitch, and the referee picked it up and, like a rugby player, was trying to follow the play, and he was running the length of the pitch with the beach ball tucked under his arm. And had he had to have given a big decision whilst carrying a beach ball, that would have been quite something. But thankfully he didn't. They've got rid of the beach ball and the game's back underway. But a really good start to the second half. Action at either end.
Good tempo from Norwich, bit more urgency. Probably that's what was required in that first half. Pass the ball a little bit quicker with a bit more purpose.
So the Norwich team, Ruddy in goal, Whittaker, Martin, Basong and Olsen the defenders. We've got Tetty and Howson and Johnson a lot of the time in the centre of midfield, with Redmond on the right and Hoolahan up in support of Cameron Jerome, and it is Hoolahan to Jerome here. Jerome is offside. Ipswich have Bilkowski in goal, Chambers, Smith, Berra and Mings, this very stubborn back line. Skews, Bishop and Brew in midfield, Anderson and Sears playing wide, and Daryl Murphy through the middle by himself. A game of very few chances, and Norwich just couldn't quite force that one over the line a minute or two ago at the start of this second half. Norwich 0, Ipswich 0, 1-1 on aggregate. A reminder that the winners today go to Wembley and the playoff final against Middlesbrough. Header away by Russell Martin, further upfield by Redmond. Hoolahan gathers the control here inside his own half, finds Redmond, who surges past two challenges and then gives it to Bradley Johnson. Johnson works it up here towards Cameron Jerome. Jerome just couldn't hold it up there against Christoph Berra, and Ipswich have got the ball back.
Yeah, it's a difficult ball for Cameron to get hold of that.
Whittaker's stolen the ball on halfway. Good anticipation from Whittaker, and he's managed to get it to Wes Hoolahan. Redmond's in space outside him. Hoolahan plays in Nathan Redmond with a great chance here. Nathan Redmond! Oh, that's handball! That's handball on the line, and it's a penalty, and it has to be a red card for the Ipswich player. I think it's Christoph Berra who's been sent off. Berra's been sent off for handling the ball on the goal line, and Norwich have a penalty.
He's got to go. You know, I can sympathise, but they are the rules of the game, and quite clearly he stopped that ball from crossing the line with his left foot. I thought Nathan Redmond should have shot first time with his left foot. I thought he'd missed the opportunity, but he kept his head. He got the ball out of his feet, got hold of the shot. Now then, what a chance this is for Wes. Ipswich down to 10 men, and a chance for Norwich to take the lead here at Carrow Road. What a big moment in this tie this is now.
Berra's been sent off. Ipswich are down to 10 men. Norwich have a penalty in front of the Barclay end, and it's Wes Hoolahan, their longest serving player. We thought this game might come down to penalties. It's Wes Hoolahan! And he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and the Canaries' longest serving player slides on his knees in front of the Barclay end, and they're going absolutely crazy in there because this tie has just turned in Norwich's favour. They lead, and Ipswich have had one of their defenders sent off. Hoolahan keeps his head, and it is Norwich 1, Ipswich 0.
That's turned massively in Norwich City's favour. 1-0 up, Ipswich down to 10 men, and what a cool pen from little Wes. Kept his head, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Now Ipswich, how will they respond to that? Will they change formation? Will they go 3 at the back? At the minute it doesn't look as if they have. Anderson's gone to right back, which means Chambers will come in and play alongside Tommy Smith. But obviously it means that they probably won't have 2 up front now. Someone will have to drop.
And Wes Hoolahan, who scored in the 4-1 win here against Ipswich Town when Norwich City were last in the Championship, has just scored a potentially priceless goal. And they've got a man advantage as well now with the sending off of Berra. It wasn't a controversial decision. The referee, Roger East, had to send Christoph Berra off. It was going in from Redmond, and Berra saved it on the goal line.
It's a terrific save, but you know, yeah, I sympathise, but he's got to go, he's got to walk. Now you've got to make that extra man count. You've really got to work these Ipswich players now when you've got possession.
And it was Wes Houlihan who sent Bartosz Bielkowski the wrong way. It wasn't quite a penalty shootout, but it was a big penalty.
I tell you what a good pen as well, right in the side netting. No chance. Even if the goalkeeper had gone the right way, he'd never got anywhere near that. Right in front of the Barkley end as well, Chris.
That's the end to do it, isn't it? Norwich 1, Ipswich 0. Wes Houlihan, it's his 5th goal of the season, it's his 2nd penalty of the season, and he took it so calmly. I don't know how he managed to stay so cool. And you've taken pressure penalties, and he just rolled it into the corner.
Yeah, you know, on an occasion like this, if I was in his shoes, I'd probably just put my foot through it and try and break the back of the net. Wes kept his head and placed it absolutely superbly.
And Carrow Road is absolutely roaring now because they've got the goal they desired desperately. Norwich are beating Ipswich 1-0, 2-1 on aggregate. And it's Wes Houlihan's penalty, and Ipswich down to 10 men as well. But here comes Bishop, the youngster, almost a forearm smash almost from Tetty, sends him to the floor. It's a free kick to Ipswich.
Silly free kick to concede, and this will probably be, these types of situations probably will be Ipswich's best opportunity to get back on level terms. Corner kicks, free kicks in the final third.
We're going to Wembley, sing the Norwich. That's the first time they've dared sing it all the way through this playoff run. They're beating 10-man Ipswich by 1-0. 7 minutes gone in the second half. It's an Ipswich free kick, which Kevin Brew will take. He'll put it into the penalty area. Whittaker heads it away. Trying to think back to the move that led to the goal. I think Whittaker broke it up on halfway, didn't he, and set Redmond away. And now Norwich have gone long, and Jerome's after it, and he's got one less defender up against him now, with Berra having been sent off. Jerome holds it up nicely on the right flank, tees up Wes Houlihan. Houlihan on the edge of the penalty area, goes this way, then goes that way, and brings it out towards the right wing. And he's got 2 Ipswich players on him as Wes Houlihan, and eventually they get the ball off him and put it out for a throw-in.
Obviously his confidence sky high, but he should have passed that ball earlier to Cameron Jerome. Just held on to it slightly too long.
Norwich 1, Ipswich 0. And Ipswich reduced to 10 men. A handball on the line from Christoph Berra, leading to a straightforward penalty, which Wes Houlihan dispatched. Howson with a crisp pass down the right to Whittaker. Inside to Wes Houlihan. Whittaker now to Redmond on the edge of the box. Now there's a challenge off the ball there, which just left Whittaker in a heat. Referee, I don't think saw...
Was it Mings?
I'm not sure.
Mings
I
running
back.
back.
It was, as I say, it was after the ball had gone. That's a bloody nose there, has he, Whittaker? I'm not sure.
Redmond started this second half much brighter than he did the first half. I was very disappointed with him in that first half, but he looks energetic. He's going to look for the ball. He's not just standing out on this right wing, getting much more involved.
I wonder whether he had some particular words said to him at half-time, because he's come out like a different player.
We spoke about it at half-time. When you've got Josh Murphy, when you've got Elliot Bennett on the bench, you've got 2 good options there.
Houlihan on the right for Norwich City, who has the goal that at the moment separates these two sides. A calmly taken penalty at the Barkley end of Carrow Road. Norwich lead Ipswich 1-0. And here's Houlihan again, collecting the pass from Howson. Houlihan coming forward, sets up Bradley Johnson 25 yards out, onto Jerome in the penalty area to the left of goal, gets onto his right foot, low shot, blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box by an Ipswich player. They're still getting plenty back, even with 10 men, or Ipswich Town. They don't want to be overrun now.
But I love that. Norwich are attacking. Yes, they're throwing men forward, but they've still got 4 defenders, well, 3 defenders plus Alex Tetty, picking Sears and Daryl Murphy up.
That's what they've got to do, haven't they? Because
don't throw caution to the wind now. You don't need to. Yeah, if a second goal comes brilliantly, most importantly, you keep a clean sheet now, Chris, you win the game, you go to Wembley.
Well, this game, really not much happened in the first half, but it's all turned on a huge incident 3 minutes into the second half. Redmond's goal-bound shot, blocked on the line by a handball from Christoph Berra. He was sent off, and Houlihan put the penalty in, and here we are now, 10 minutes gone in the second half. Norwich lead Ipswich 1-0.
I was cursing as well. I thought, shoot with your left foot, mate. He brought it back on his right. I thought the chance had gone, but he worked the ball well to get his shot in.
Bassong's just fouled Daryl Murphy, and it's a free kick. They didn't need to. They were going shoulder to shoulder, and Bassong brought the arms around, and a bear hug on Daryl Murphy, really, and it's a free kick just inside the Norwich half to Ipswich, which has been taken quickly. Brew gets the ball out towards the right flank, and Ipswich Town come forward with Anderson. Norwich with plenty back. Sears has stayed onside here, an intelligent run. Can he cut the ball back from the right? He does, but John Ruddy stretches his arms up in the air and catches the ball.
Bradley Johnson just gets caught trying to play the offside game. Sears times his run to perfection, but good positioning by big John Ruddy.
Redmond to Tetty. midway inside his own half here, Alex Tettey. Stumbles, but brings the ball under control. And Martin Olsen will now put it into the Ipswich half. Jerome heads it on there against Luke Chambers and then sets off on the ground after the ball and wins a corner. That's brilliant play from Cameron Jerome.
You know, it's not the best ball up to him, but he wins the ball in the air, he reacts quickly, and then he forces Chambers to concede the corner.
Redmond trots over to take this corner from the left flank, and all those people in that area of the ground they call the snake pit rise to their feet to applaud Nathan Redmond for the crucial role that he's played in giving Norwich the slender 1-0 and one-man advantage in this game. 1-0 they lead. Short corner, taken to Houlihan on the left. Houlihan's miscontrolled it and then has fouled the Ipswich player in trying to prevent them from breaking away. That's where, let's go back to what you said a minute ago, Ewan. Norwich are 1-0 up, let's not do anything silly.
Yeah, lack of concentration, and I think he's lucky to get away with that one. I think he's very lucky not to receive a yellow card for that challenge.
Norwich 1, Ipswich 0 on BBC Radio Norfolk.
A fair play to Mick McCarthy. I don't like to give him credit, but he's kept the two up top, playing with three in the middle of the park now. Anderson has gone to play right back, and they need a goal.
Tettey gets his foot to the ball. Bradley Johnson now fires the ball long, and Jerome will chase it willingly into the channel, and he'll get there ahead of Tommy Smith. Jerome, left wing, tackled by Tommy Smith. Norwich throw in. Tommy Smith desperately appealing that should go Ipswich's way, but not so.
Nothing much more that Cameron could do. You know, he's isolated. He's got defenders back. Support's rather slow getting up to him.
Throw in for Norwich, which Martin Olsen will take from the left flank, deep inside the Ipswich half. Norwich in front thanks to Wes Houlihan's penalty. Redmond controls the ball on the left wing, finds Bradley Johnson. Forward to Houlihan, who took a real nasty one there from behind by Cole Skews. Free kick to Norwich City. And a great moment for Wes Houlihan, who, let's not forget, was signed by Glenn Roeder for Norwich City in 2008. Wes Houlihan, he's seen it all. Olsen crosses from the left here as a free kick is taken quickly. Ipswich stretching, they get to the ball. And Paul Anderson and then Bishop in the right back position should clear for Ipswich, but they're messing around on the edge of their own penalty area here, and Bishop's given his goalkeeper Bilkowski a really awkward back pass. In fact, it was such a poor back pass that he's allowed to pick it up because it wasn't meant as a back pass.
It wasn't meant, was it? It wasn't meant. And you know, people have questioned his Wes in this game, in the heat of the moment, against a team as physical as Ipswich. Can he cope with that? I tell you what, he's got a big heart. He has got a big heart, because that was a massive penalty he's just taken to put Norwich ahead. 2 promotions
already as a Norwich player for Wes Houlihan. We must keep reminding you, I suppose, that today doesn't necessarily mean they go up next season. It feels that big, doesn't it? But there's still another game after this.
There is, and that will be a tough test. But I do think, with everything about this semi-final, with local pride at stake, playing against your fiercest rivals, I think whoever wins this tie, I think goes through, in my opinion.
Whittaker. He's been hustled there by Mings, and Norwich have given away another careless free kick inside their own half here. That's exactly the sort of thing they don't need to do.
Yeah, high feet by Stephen Whittaker on Tyrone Mings.
But even with the set pieces now, you know, Christoph Berra has scored 6 goals this season. He's the defender. He's been sent off, so that's one less threat that Norwich have got to worry about. But there's still plenty there for them. Sears, Murphy, Chambers, Smith coming forward. The youngster Teddy Bishop will take this free kick from the Ipswich left. Curled towards the Norwich penalty area. Norwich have to defend strongly here. It's been headed down towards Tommy Smith. Oh, he's going to equalise for Ipswich, and he does! And the 10 men have scrambled an equaliser at the river end, and we're all square again. Norwich couldn't defend the set piece. Tommy Smith scrambled it in. It's Norwich 1, Ipswich 1 on the hour.
It's a good finish by Tommy Smith in the end. You know, good feet to take it round John Ruddy. Could John have reacted quicker? They don't deal with the initial ball in, it gets headed far too easily into that 6-yard box. No one's gone with Tommy Smith, someone should be picking it up. But as I said, for a central defender to show the quickness of feet that he did, to take it past John and slide it into an empty net from 3 or 4 yards, really good finish. But we spoke about it, Chris, from those types of situations, free kicks, corner kicks, especially when they're down to 10 men, that would probably be their best chance to get back into this game. And they've done that.
And Norwich gave away a silly free kick and didn't defend it properly. And Tommy Smith, who scored at the river end, that's the opposite end from where the Ipswich fans are watching the game. And he sprinted the length of the pitch to go and share that moment with the Ipswich supporters. Smith's 5th goal of the season. It's 1-1, 2-2 on aggregate. And Norwich's lead lasted for 11 minutes. Norwich 1, Ipswich 1. Even against the 10 men.
What was Ipswich's lead? Was it 8 minutes last week?
Yeah, so Norwich, Norwich just can't hold on to a lead at the moment against Ipswich. especially playing against 10 men. You really fancied Norwich to go on, having got the lead, but here come Ipswich again now. Russell Martin cuts it out. Wes Hoolahan has it on halfway. He'll play it long, and it's Smith who gets there, having just scrambled home the Ipswich equaliser, which has us well and truly back in the melting pot. Sears on the left for Ipswich Town. Whittaker makes the challenge. It's a good challenge. Russell Martin with a short pass to Johnny Howson. Howson works it forward to Redmond, midway inside his own half. Redmond wins a throw-in off Kevin Brew. 1-1.
We spoke about it, Chris, making that extra man count when you're playing against a side who have been reduced to 10 men. Norwich haven't really made that happen up till now.
Here's Tetty for Norwich City on halfway. 1-1. Ipswich had Berra sent off for giving away the penalty which led to Norwich's goal, but then there's that equaliser from Smith. Here's Redmond for Norwich City. Infield to Johnny Howson. To Wes Hoolahan. Back to Howson. Good run forward from Johnny Howson. Hasn't got any options available on the right. That's where he wanted to go. Nobody's there. So he's had to come infield to Wes Hoolahan. Hoolahan, looks for Bradley Johnson, but doesn't find him, and Ipswich have broken the play up. And they've got it with Kevin Brew. Up towards Daryl Murphy now on the right. Bradley Johnson trying to get back at him. It's Daryl Murphy for Ipswich Town. Brew's made a good run forward here, but Murphy can't find him, and John Ruddy comes to get it.
Ipswich looking really lively at the minute. You know, the way they responded from going a goal down and going down to 10 men, it's been a very positive response by them.
And now Howson goes down, no foul given. And Ipswich have got the ball back inside their own half, and it's Paul Anderson who's filling in at right back with the sending off of Berra, and Chambers having gone into the middle of the pitch. 62 minutes played. Norwich 1, Ipswich 1. 2-2 on aggregate. Norwich have been in front twice in this tie, but have been pegged back on 2 occasions. And now Freddie Sears is flagged offside as he tries to get away for Ipswich on the right.
Great line by Sebastian Besson. You know, he's the talker there. He's told Russell Martin, Whittaker and Olsen, you push up a little bit, leave me with Sears, and as soon as that ball's played into the run that Freddie Sears has made, he just takes half a step up and catches Sears offside.
John Ruddy launches the ball long for Norwich City. Headed up in the air by one of the Ipswich defenders, and then Mings heads it further away. Good defending. Olsen now nods it down towards Johnson. Back out to Olsen on the left. Good play. Hoolahan's taken up an intelligent position on the left wing. He goes past Kevin Brew. Good run from Hoolahan into the penalty area. Sets up Olsen for the cross. Goalkeeper parries it from the rebound. Jerome can't get there. It's fallen for Howson. He gives it to Redmond in the penalty area. And Redmond scores! Nathan Redmond for Norwich City puts them back in front in this tie. And for the third time in this playoff semi-final, Norwich have the advantage, and it was coolly taken by Nathan Redmond, and the Canaries have the advantage once more. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1.
You talk about Ipswich's response to going to goal behind. What a response that is from Norwich City. Great play down that left-hand side between Wes Hoolahan and Martin Olsen. Olsen puts a lovely ball, it gets half cleared by Tommy Smith. Ball to Johnny Howson. He can't get his shot off. He sees Redmond to his right-hand side, lays the ball to Redmond. I thought the chance had gone, but somehow he managed to get his shot on target. He kept it low. No chance for the goalkeeper.
That goal came 4 minutes after the Ipswich equaliser. I didn't know whether the shot was ever going to come. The rebound out from Bilkowski fell for a Norwich player. Howson decided not to shoot. He passed it to Redmond in the penalty area, and you're thinking somebody have a shot. Redmond drilled it low, and we said before the game, Hoolahan or Redmond for Norwich City, would both of them start? Well, they've both now scored. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1.
Both have had a massive impact on this game. In the second half, Nathan Redmond's been a completely different player. He really has. He's really gone and got himself involved in this second half.
They're coming again, Ipswich. Bishop crosses from the left. Howson clears. And now Redmond. And Carrow on its feet whenever Redmond gets the ball now. Over halfway goes Redmond and hits an early ball up towards Cameron Jerome. If he wins the header, Hoolahan will be in. He doesn't win the header though, and it falls for Tyrone Mings, who will clear for Ipswich. I think there was a smoke bomb let off in the ground somewhere, perhaps in the Barclay end of the ground as that goal was being celebrated. That's all blown away now though, but the stewards and the police are going in there to try to sort out what happened.
And that goal can have such a negative effect on Ipswich Town. You know, having clawed your way back into the game, even though your opposition's got a man advantage, to concede a goal 4 minutes after you've scored, what a negative impact that can have on this team.
And now it's Murphy for Ipswich, a battering ram up there. Hoolahan though, Howson gets the better of him, clears it away. Only as far as Tyrone Mings on the Ipswich left. Redmond winning the challenges now, and it's Bradley Johnson in front of the back four for Norwich, who finds Wes Hoolahan. Hoolahan passes it into space out on the left. I think Olsen's going to get it for Norwich City. Olsen does. Olsen will now find Tetty inside his own half. Little yellow dots on the pitch where all those balloons will burst earlier on. Ball played up now towards Nathan Redmond. Can Redmond get there before Tyrone Mings? No, Mings has to put it in the stands. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. We're the 66th minute and Norwich have the advantage again, but it's a slender advantage.
What, 25 minutes or 25 minutes ago, they are going to take an eternity, I can guarantee you. They'll fly by for the Ipswich players and their fans, but for the Norwich players and the Canary faithful, it would seem like forever.
Tessie in the centre circle. Sit back now to Sebastian Basson.
Just don't sit back, Chris, now. You know, you've got an advantage. Go and get a third if you can and kill the tie off.
Whittaker for Norwich City. Strokes it forward to Johnny Howson, who's got space on the right. Ipswich, remember, a man down. And Howson has found Houlihan here, 25 yards from goal. Houlihan hits a shot, the goalkeeper parries it and then gets it at the second attempt.
Yeah, straight at him. But a decent strike. You know, good play by Howson. Bit of space for Wes. Gets half a turn. Everything opens out for him. He's got options. From what, 20 yards, decides, no, I'm going to have another go at goal. Comfortable save for the goalkeeper.
Redmond struggled for goals at times in his Norwich career, but that's 5 this season now for him, all here at Carrow Road. And I don't think it's better taken than that. Really, really good drilled finish to put Norwich in front. And as it stands, on the way to Wembley, but we've still got a quarter of this match to go. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1.
He kept it low, didn't he? And that's what caused Bulkowski the problems. He couldn't get down quick enough to stop the ball from crossing the goal line.
Wes Houlihan's having to pick up one of those free flags that was given to the fans before this game and has been thrown onto the pitch in all the excitement. Houlihan's just trying to throw it off the field and the game's back underway. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. Russell Martin hits a long ball forward. He's picked out Redmond on the right. Redmond, who's been excellent in this second half, puts his foot on the ball, waits for Howson to make a good run on the right. Howson then gets it back to Redmond, but it's going to run from Bradley Johnson. Low shot blocked. Really brave defending from Ipswich. But Howson rattling in with a challenge, winning it back on the edge of the Ipswich box. Finding Redmond. Now Bradley Johnson knows that Olsen's arriving in the penalty area to the left of goal. His cross. And Ipswich with Chambers get there first and head it behind for a corner.
Oh, and they're turning the screw, and they really are applying the pressure, looking for this third goal that you would think that would kill this tie off. Once again, a great run down that left-hand side by Martin Olsen, trying to pick out Cameron Jerome in the 6-yard box.
Jerome, Martin, Johnson, Basson, all in the penalty area. Norwich lead 2-1. They have a corner. The last one they took short. Ipswich equalised not long after. I dare say this one will go into the penalty area from Redmond. It does go into the penalty area. Jerome nearly gets there. It was missed by the whole team. I think everybody missed that one, including Kevin Brew, who tried to fire it away up the field. He missed it, and it's rolled under his legs and out for a goal kick.
I think the quality from Nathan Redmond was that good from that corner kick. It completely misses everybody.
Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. On the ball, City rings out around Carrow Road once more. Are they allowing themselves to believe that in 9 days' time they'll be singing that song at Wembley Stadium? At the moment, they will be. If there are no more goals in this game, they will be. But we've still got 22 minutes to go. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1, 3-2 on aggregate. Bradley Johnson and Tommy Smith meeting in a 50-50 challenge on halfway. It falls Norwich's way eventually, but Johnson can't keep the ball in play. The one player on a yellow card so far in this game, Bradley Johnson.
One yellow, one red. Luckily, from a Norwich point of view, the red's gone to an Ipswich player.
And it was... you talk about referees sometimes having to make controversial decisions. The referee here, Roger East, he must be so thankful. That was such an easy decision to send off Berra, wasn't it? A clear handball on the goal line.
I think everybody in the stadium saw Berra hand it on the line.
One of those where the player almost started to walk off, didn't he, straight away? So
it was inevitable.
And now Olsen for Norwich City, stretching his legs on that left wing, getting his way past Brew. He's really going well here, Olsen. Gets the cross into the box, but not enough power on it, and Chambers will clear. Tetty's header, really well done. Nods it down into space. Houlihan gathers it. Redmond's now popped up on the left wing, and Johnson's come across to the right. They've swapped those two players over. Here's Howson for Norwich City. Finds Stephen Whittaker. There's space for Whittaker to charge into. He does. He gives it to Bradley Johnson. Johnson, 35 yards from goal, feeds Nathan Redmond on the edge of the box. Back again to Bradley Johnson. Redmond to Johnson again, and they're toying with Ipswich now. They're working out that they've got a man in space. Whittaker forward to Howson. Howson's cross from the right. Jerome! Oh, he's missed the chance. He's missed the tap in from the 6-yard box, which would have put Norwich on the verge of Wembley.
Oh, that's the game. That is the game there and then. Really good play down this right-hand side. It's such a teasing ball into that 6-yard box by Howson, and somehow Cameron Jerome just can't get quite enough on his shot to hit the back of the net.
Ipswich are bringing on a striker. They've got to, because they're trailing 2-1, and they're bringing on David McGoldrick for the last 20 minutes, who hasn't played since February because of injury, and we didn't think we'd see him during the playoffs, but they've got him, and they want to get him out there and get 20 minutes out of him. So McGoldrick replaces the youngster Teddy Bishop, and Jay Tabb replaces Kevin Brew. So they've got 3 strikers on the pitch now, Ipswich, in Sears, McGoldrick and Murphy, and they'll play with Tabb in the midfield at exactly where Brew was playing.
Yeah, they're 4 at the back now, 2 anchoring midfielders, and then, as you say, the 3 forwards.
That's all they can do because they're down to 10 men. Jerome's just been flagged offside.
That's poor from Cameron, though. You know, a bit lazy. He's got to get himself back on side.
McGoldrick has 7 goals so far this season. He was free scoring last season, but got injured, and injured again for much of this season, which is why he's only got those 7. But on his day, a dangerous championship striker, and Ipswich need him because they're 2-1 down at Carrow Road, 3-2 down on aggregate in this huge playoff semi-final. 19
minutes to go. That clock is ticking down so slowly.
Doesn't it just in these sort of situations? Long kick forward from Bilkowski, the Ipswich goalkeeper. Basong against McGoldrick, and it's Basong who gets there. And it comes off McGoldrick as Basong clears it, and Norwich have a throw in. Now Alex Neil's going to make a change as well, I think, here. Is that Dorrans he's talking to? Yes. Perhaps just to bring a little bit more composure.
Yeah, maybe his calming influence in that middle of the park, to keep hold of the ball, to pull the strings in that Norwich midfield.
Yeah, Dorrans is just getting that pink training bib off, and the white tracksuit top is coming off as well, so we're going to see Graham Dorrans in a moment. But here come Ipswich with McGoldrick, right flank, chased backwards by Norwich, but Ipswich have the ball, and Skews will find Mings on the left here. Wider still is Freddie Sears. Whittaker goes to him. Whittaker makes the challenge. Playing so many old firm games for Rangers with Stephen Whittaker, and the UEFA Cup final as well, so he should be able to deal with this. 18 minutes to go, Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. Here's Mings for Ipswich, to McGoldrick on the edge of the penalty area. A great reverse pass towards Tyrone Mings, who's overrun that one. He got beyond Whittaker, but took it off the pitch, and I think crashed into one of the poor photographers as well.
I'll tell you what, he's lucky he's had a heavy touch. Really neat little layoff by McGoldrick. His first chance to show what he's capable of. And Mings has a heavy touch. He beats Stephen Whittaker.
Dorrans is just about ready to come on. Mings has picked himself up, and he's getting back on the pitch now after colliding with that photographer. And the change, let's see who's coming off. Where's Houlihan's coming off? You can see why. Norwich City have the lead, and they have an Ipswich team now that are playing with 3 strikers. So Wes Houlihan, who scored what could be a vital goal, that penalty to break the deadlock here, and then been involved in the second one. Houlihan goes off for these last 18 minutes or so, and Graham Dorrans comes on.
Well, he's done his job for the day, hasn't he? In that yellow shirt wears, he's looked very bright, especially in this second half. You know, always willing to receive the ball, whether he's under pressure or not. Scored that vitally important first goal from that penalty spot. Now Norwich maybe slightly a bit more defensive with Dorrans coming on.
Although Johnson's causing havoc, crosses the ball from the left, and it's landed in the front row of the Barclays stand. I think what they've done here, they've put Bradley Johnson now back on the left side because they like that diagonal ball to him, and now that Chambers has come into the centre of the defence, he's got Anderson up against him, and I think they fancy Johnson in the air against him.
Exactly, and Anderson not a natural right back. Okay, Bradley's not as quick as Anderson, but can he go and, as you say, try that tactic where ball's played up high and long for Bradley for him to win that header.
16 minutes to go. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. Dorrans promoted with West Brom in 2010 to the Premier League. Scottish international, he comes on now to replace Houlihan and try and add a little bit of assuredness to Norwich City, but he needs to do his defensive duties as well, because here's McGoldrick. Sears is onside here, right edge of the penalty area, his cross. John Ruddy does his job well, dives on the ball near post.
Really good hands as well from John. That ball bounces up just right in front of him, and it's quite easy for the goalkeeper when that happens just to drop the ball into an oncoming centre forward to have a tap in. Did well there, but, you know, for the second time now, Norwich getting caught trying to play that offside.
Punted upfield from John Ruddy, asking questions of the Ipswich defence. It's come off the head of Luke Chambers, and Anderson, the standing full-back, is going to pass it back to the goalkeeper Bilkowski. He's been beaten twice in the second half by Houlihan and by Nathan Redmond. Norwich have scored twice in front of the Barclay end to lead this playoff derby by a slender 2-1 margin here, 3-2 on aggregate. Oh, Basong's header out to play. There's a foot up there by the Ipswich player Sears. Basong, though bravely, still went for the header, and it's a free kick to Norwich.
Alex Neil screaming instructions at Cameron Jerome as well. I think he wants a bit more effort from his centre forward.
He clapped his hands together there, Alex Neil, with such ferocity that we're the other side of the pitch and you heard it. You heard the slap of his palms, Alex Neil. It just means so much to him. Long ball forward from Russell Martin. Howson's going to give chase. Ball just holding up on that left channel for Norwich City. Chambers is under pressure here. He clears it only as far as Bradley Johnson, who finds Howson. Oh, he couldn't play Johnson back in, and Ipswich will get it away.
Nearly came off, didn't it?
Would have been some goal there. As Anderson smashes the ball away for Ipswich Town. The song judges it perfectly, heads it forward, and then Dorrans nips in with the challenge, and it's Redmond with a chance to run through the middle. Halfway inside the Ipswich half, threads it through for Cameron Jerome, chance! Jerome's posted past the goalkeeper, and he may well have poked Norwich City to Wembley! Cameron Jerome scores! The Canaries have control of this playoff derby now! They lead by 3 goals to 1. Nathan Redmond split the Ipswich defence in 2, and Cameron Jerome rolled it over the line, and the Canaries are 3-1 up.
Well, you'd have to think now, game, set and match. What a pass from Nathan Redmond. He got his head up, he saw the run that Cameron Jerome had made, he was level, he wasn't offside, and then it was all about who was going to reach the ball first. Was it Jerome? Was it Bulkowski? I thought the Ipswich keeper was a bit slow off his line, but all credit to Cameron Jerome, kept his head, showed his pace, got his foot to the ball and guided it past the Ipswich goalkeeper. 3-1 to Norwich. 14 minutes ago, you've got to say. 2 feet there already.
It's Jerome's, there's the cheer for him, it's Jerome's 20th goal of the season. And not many of them have been as well received as that one. Terrific. Although Ipswich have gone long here, Basong needs to defend. He's kicked it against Tyrone Mings. Norwich under pressure. Basong gets there this time though, and Whittaker puts the ball out for a throw. That should have been perhaps a Norwich throw, but it's gone Ipswich's way. The Wembley song is being sung with a bit more gusto and a bit more confidence by the Carrow Road crowd. Norwich City 9 days away from Wembley in a time sense, but in a football sense, they are almost there. Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. Whittaker drills it long. It's going to fall for Ipswich on halfway, but Skews just fires it long. Basong, brilliant. He's been like a rock at the back there today for Norwich City.
We spoke about it 2 minutes earlier. Alex Neil screaming at Cameron Jerome. He wants a bit more from his centre forward. He's got a lot more just then.
Scored a goal. Yeah, it was one of those that, I mean, from an Ipswich fan's point of view, that would have been agony to watch because it rolled over the line so gradually, like in slow motion, didn't it?
But you knew it was always going to cross the line. You knew it was always crossing the line.
But from a Norwich point of view, it just gave you a time to enjoy it. The ball was going to go over the goal line. It was going to be 3-1, 4-2 on aggregate. Are the Canaries, for the first time since 1985, going to be playing at Wembley? You can hear what the Carrow Road crowd think about it. They're in terrific voice, have been all afternoon. A really tense first half, lit up really though with a blitz at the start of the second half with that sending off of Christophe Berra. The penalty converted by Houlihan. Ipswich hit back as Teti miscontrols the ball on halfway. And now gets it back to Russell Martin. Further goals though from Redmond and Jerome doing the job for Norwich City. Long kick forward from Ruddy. Jerome sets off after it. Fancies this one against Luke Chambers. Chambers gets there first and then plays it back to his goalkeeper, the Polish keeper Bilkowski. He's not made a save in the game, Bilkowski, but he's been beaten 3 times.
He's had no chance with either goal. I did think he was a bit slow coming off his line for that third goal.
Oh, lovely play from Johnson and Howson sent Redmond away. Nathan Redmond 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Oh, Mings got back and made the challenge. Redmond was thinking about tucking it in, and he was tackled, and it's a corner.
Shouldn't even give Tyrone Mings a chance to get back with his pace. Just go and commit the goalkeeper, make him either make a save or you beat him. But I think Norwich will get more opportunities to get that 4th goal. The way Ipswich have got to throw caution to the wind now. They've got to throw players forward, try and at least get a 2nd goal, which would make a game of it.
10 minutes to go. Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. Redmond's corner from the left towards the near post, headed away. Here's Teti. He's going to play safe there. He's going to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, John Ruddy. We've heard a lot in the build-up to this tie about Norwich having the greater quality, and that would show eventually, and it just about has, hasn't it? It's taken its time, but it just about has.
It's that old saying about the cream always rising to the top, isn't it? And that's what's happened. And we've spoke about Ipswich's away form. It hasn't been good all season. Mick McCarthy thought that would change for this game. I'm not too sure why. You can't just switch it on and off. And yeah, they've made a fight of it, to be fair to them. But
Well, yeah, that Ipswich, their game is built on that physicality, isn't it? Going forward from the set pieces to lose Christophe Berra and a goal at the same time. That is where it really turned into Norwich.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. You know, you go goal and a man advantage in a few seconds' time, and it gives you a massive advantage.
Slightly poor clearance there from Whittaker, collected by Paul Anderson on halfway for Ipswich. McGoldrick sent on as a striker, is inside his own half here, firing the ball forward. And Basson is going to hopefully see that back to his goalkeeper. He does eventually. Goalkeeper clears. Johnson controls and then goes down. That just slips over, and it's Jay Tabb, the little Ipswich midfielder, the substitute coming forward. Olsen with a really good challenge. What a tackle from Martin Olsen.
Brilliant from the Norwich fans from the Barclay end of the Snake Pit, shouting to the Ipswich fans, mind the gap.
Which was the Ipswich taunt when they were, I think they were 8 points clear of Norwich at one point during this season, weren't they? And that was the taunt, mind the gap, from the Ipswich fans. Well, Norwich fans might well be hearing that phrase said on the Tube network in 9 days' time on their way to Wembley.
He who laughs last.
9 minutes to go. 3-1 Norwich lead on the day. 4-2 on aggregate. Here's Whittaker to Redmond, and now back to Graham Dorrans on the halfway line. Dorrans waits. A crisp, precise pass to Whittaker. Now Jerome, back to Stephen Whittaker once more. And it's Dorrans on halfway who will give it to Russell Martin and Basson. And I can't speak highly enough about Sebastian Basson's performance, because
he's marshalled that back forward, hasn't he? His first half performance was outstanding.
Ipswich started this game very well, and Basson puffed his chest out and got on with it, didn't he? And now a long ball forward from Norwich. Redmond's in again here. Redmond controls, edge of the Ipswich penalty area. He goes for goal again, and this one's over the bar.
Great control. That first touch to bring that ball down. Absolutely sublime by Nathan Redmond.
Substitution now for either side. Ipswich are going to bring on their last permitted change. And Norwich are going to send on Gary Hooper. Paul Anderson coming off for Ipswich, and Noel Hunt, so another striker coming on. Well, they've got to. There's no point Ipswich trying to hang on for anything now. They've now got 4 strikers on the pitch, and they're down to 10 men. And Norwich City will take off Cameron Jerome, and will just break off here. And this is the applause for Cameron Jerome, having scored the 3rd goal of this game as he leaves the pitch.
He's giving it his all, to be fair to him. Scored a very important 3rd goal. But not just his goal, his general play. He's got hold of the ball. He's worked both Ipswich central defenders. He's showed his pace. He's been a willing runner. And I've done it myself. It's a hard role to play up there. At times it can be lonely. You're battling against 2 defenders. He's done it superbly this afternoon and deservedly got his goal.
Brilliant performance from Jerome. Gary Hooper replaces him for the last 7 minutes. 3-1, Norwich lead.
Go and get yourself a goal, Gary. That's what you do best.
12 goals this season. 5 goals in Old Firm derbies in his career as well, Gary Hooper. And Redmond is being applauded now by the Norwich fans because he's come across to the side of the pitch while Tyrone Mings is getting some treatment in his own penalty area to get a bottle of energy drink. Nathan Redmond swigging that down and enjoying every sip, I think, as he gets applauded by the supporters as well.
This is the standard he's set himself now. You know, whether he's here at the club, rumours that Southampton want to buy him for £10 million. You know, he's come out in his second half and he showed what a good player he's capable of being. We didn't see enough of this in the first half or in the first game from Nathan Redmond.
And now Nathan Redmond has picked up one of those flags that was given to the supporters before the game, and seeing that Mings is still being led away from the side of the pitch and he's got some time, Redmond has just planted the Norwich City flag in the turf just off the pitch here so that it flutters nicely in the breeze. Will they be planting that yellow and green flag at Wembley Stadium in 9 days? They're 3-1 up, the game's back underway. Here's McGoldrick. Trying to thread it through the Norwich defence. Olsen's quick and he needs to be ahead of Freddie Sears, and he puts it out for a throw-in.
Brilliant by Martin Olsen. No chances being taken, noses under pressure. I can hear Freddie Sears breathing right on his shoulder. Get it out for the throw-in.
Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. 4-2 on aggregate. Wembley at stake. Ipswich down to 10 men as well, remember. Norwich clear it away. Hooper holds it up nicely, but then Norwich give it away through Howson. It's in the penalty area here for Freddie Sears. Great tackle from Basson. He has to be the man of the match for me. I know it'll be the attacking players. It'll be Redmond, Houlihan, Jerome will get the headlines, but Basson got Norwich through a difficult start to this game.
He can smell danger, can't he? You know, and I thought Sears was in then, but you know, he's quick, he's strong. He gets across Freddie Sears and stops him from getting a shot on goal.
But now Norwich have given away a soft free kick, which they've already paid for once in this game.
Pick your men up, make sure that whoever you're picking up does not get a free header.
And they've got a free kick of Ipswich, level with the Norwich penalty area on the right. They could put this game back in the melting pot still, with 4.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Norwich have a 3-1 lead. McGoldrick's going to take this free kick, trying to put it into a congested penalty area. They've scored from one set piece. Header away by Tessie, a firm one, and Dorrans sets off after it and gets there and knocks the ball past J-Tab and then runs into the Ipswich half. If he plays it now, Hooper's clean through. Oh, he's offside! He's offside, Gary Hooper.
He was as well, Chris. He was, and he didn't need to be. Because they've got two. They've got Redmond and Hooper. After great work down that left-hand side by Dorrans, he lifts his head. He can see both have made a run. Hooper's gone a second too early.
Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. 4 minutes to go.
Okay, I think we're being greedy one in the fourth, aren't we?
Tetty on the edge of his own penalty area finds Dorrans. Dorrans plays it forward, and it's Redmond this time who will sprint through. Redmond halfway inside the Ipswich half. Brings it up towards the edge of the penalty area now, Redmond. He's already scored once in this game. Has a low shot, but is blocked and runs away for a throw into Norwich City.
Wrong option. He's got three. He's got Hooper, Howson and Johnson to the left of him.
And a final change being made by Norwich City. Bradley Johnson, who's on a yellow card, is going to come off. For once, not getting his name on the score sheet at Carrow Road. And it looks like Elliot Bennett's going to come off.
He's not had one of his better games for Norwich, but once again he's given it his everything. You know, he's made his tackles, he's won the ball in the air, hasn't had too much influence with the ball at his feet, but once again he's given it his all in that yellow shirt.
Elliot Bennett's bit part player really for Norwich this season, but always gives his all. Hasn't featured much in the first team this season. Had a loan spell at Brighton earlier in the campaign as well, but they'd enjoy being part of this, and rightly so.
And you know, those
Norwich
bit part players, they've still got an important role to play, haven't they, when they get an opportunity.
The song finds Whittaker on the right. Whittaker trying to bring the ball forward past Noel Hunt, one of the substitutes. Whittaker sprawling and stumbling and eventually given a free kick.
Did really well, didn't he? Against Tab, against Hunt. Good feet, beat both, got brought down. Nothing silly from this free kick.
I think he's played well today, Whittaker. Dorrans with a short free kick to Redmond. Now Martin again. On to Gary Hooper, to Dorrans. Norwich knocking it around inside the Ipswich half here. 3-1 up, on their way to Wembley on Bank Holiday Monday. Although Whittaker gives the ball away on halfway. There's Basong, sure-footed to win the ball back and give it to Gary Hooper. Elliot Bennett, his first touch of the game, left wing, gets it. Level with the Ipswich penalty area. Bennett just puts his foot on the ball, stops, plays sensibly, gives it to Martin Olsen. Norwich don't need to risk anything. 3-1 up, 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Here's Dorrans. 25 yards out, tackled by McGoldrick. Ball runs for Hooper, and it strokes to the left and Olsen. And Hooper on to Howson. And Hooper again, trying to get Elliot Bennett in the penalty area here. Tries to cut it back, he's won a corner off Tommy Smith.
Really patient play down that left-hand side. Howson, Hooper, Olsen, all combining well, all keeping the ball, passing it quickly.
Norwich, a minute and a half plus stoppage time away from Wembley Stadium. First time since 1985, when of course they beat Ipswich in the semi-final of the League Cup to get to Wembley. And they could be going back there. Looks like they're going to be. They've won a throw-in, having taken the short corner. Hooper was tackled, and it's a throw-in now level with the Ipswich penalty area, which has been thrown to Hooper. Hooper going to go left wing. Infield now to Howson. Oh, nearly got it to Redmond, who was in space on the left, but it's Chambers who will clear the ball away.
Just a lazy pass in the end by Johnny Howson. It was too easy for him, I think.
To go back to something he said earlier about Redmond setting the standard, I think that's why sometimes fans are critical of him, because actually we know what he can do. That's why he's frustrating. He's such a good player.
And I think fans have seen him do it on a regular basis for the England under-21s. They expect him to do it every game for Norwich, and rightly so.
Dorrans for Norwich City. Nice low ball out to the right, and Elliot Bennett slows it down and finds Dorrans, and then Elliot Bennett sets off on the right wing, and Tyrone Mings has got a handful of his shirt, and that has to be a Norwich free kick, and it is.
It's a simple one to give, isn't it? Lovely little give and go between Elliot Bennett and Graham Dorrans. Dorrans knows there's plenty of space to put that ball into, and Elliot Bennett gets in front of Tyrone Mings, and we can see from up here, we had a great view of it.
I was just thinking, we said earlier that Bilkowski hasn't made many saves today. Norwich have sort of taken their chances.
They've been clinical, haven't they?
Yeah. You could argue that Christoph Berra has made more saves than Bilkowski when he got sent off for the handball on the line. 90 minutes are up. We've got stoppage time, and the sun was shining on the fourth official's board, so I'm not sure what it said. And they're telling us on the PA now, 4 minutes. We are 4 minutes away Norwich City are 4 minutes from Wembley.
I'm surprised it's as quiet as it is here at Carrow Road.
I think it's relief, Ewan. I think these Norwich fans have used up so much nervous energy this week, and even more this afternoon. They haven't got a lot left to give, to be honest. No, they're rising to you and ask for more noise, and it's coming.
It has been a tense day, hasn't it? It really, really has. But I have to say, as I've said to you, I was more nervous about last week's game than I was today. I was coming here full of confidence that the boys could go out and win this game.
Here's J Tab though for Ipswich. The last embers of an Ipswich hope. Mings with the cross, blocked by Dorrans, throw into Ipswich. After the game, Canary call. Ewan Roberts will be taking your calls. We'll send Phil Daly off outside the ground as well to speak to some of the supporters as they make their way home for tonight and towards Wembley ultimately in 9 days' time. Chambers on halfway, strokes it back to his goalkeeper Bilkowski. Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. And it's back with the goalkeeper Bilkowski for Ipswich, who launches it high down the middle of the park. The Song gets his head to that one. Olsen hesitates, needs to clear against Noel Hunt, does eventually. J Tab heads it forward though, a little bit slack here from Norwich City, and a chance for Freddie Sears. Good save from John Ruddick, behind for a corner. That just shows that Norwich have got to keep this going till the end of the game. He was offside actually, it wouldn't have counted, but Ruddy didn't know that.
Great save, was it? Made himself big. Half a chance for Freddie Sears, got a bit early. Bit of hesitant defending by Norwich, enabling Sears to get that half a chance.
Norwich City heading for a 6th East Anglian derby without defeat. Such a good run they're on against Ipswich Town. And Dorrans going for that one. Ball's been put out of play, it's a Norwich throw. And Norwich have now negotiated 2 minutes of the stoppage time. What an achievement this is from Alex Neil as well, who stands there, arms folded, looking as composed as he ever does on the side of the pitch at the moment. He's going to become the first manager since Ken Brown in 1985 to take Norwich to Wembley. Here's Mings on halfway for Ipswich. High steepling ball towards McGoldrick, who chests it down on the edge of the box. McGoldrick gets a shot away and it's wide, dragged wide.
Did well though, didn't he? You know, to control that ball on his chest under pressure. Got the ball from under his feet, got a shot in.
You know, the end is nigh in terms of this game because a whole line of police officers, well padded up against the threat of any trouble, are now crouching in front of the Ipswich supporters. They've appeared like a line of multicoloured ants, haven't they, in front of the away supporters to make sure there's no trouble at the end of this game with so much on the line. Hooper finds Dorrans. We're a minute from the end of the stoppage time. Norwich fans, I think, can finally start to enjoy it because they've got a 2-goal advantage. The tension is beginning to dissipate and the certainty of seeing Norwich City at Wembley Stadium is starting to set in at Carrow Road. 45 seconds of the stoppage time to go. Norwich 3, Ipswich 1, 4-2 on aggregate. Russell Martin's long kick, chested down by Nathan Redmond. Redmond hauled down by Cole Skews, and that should be a yellow card for the Ipswich man. Doesn't matter at this point, but he deserved the yellow card for that.
Frustration, I think, coming in from Skews. Good play by Nathan Redmond, both having a word with each other. Don't do anything silly now, Nathan. You won the game. Don't get stupidly sent off.
Now, Redmond's getting involved actually. He doesn't need to. Gary Hooper is acting as peacemaker, and now Hooper's got involved as well, and it's all boiling over on the pitch here. The size of the occasion starting to get to the players. Redmond being squared up to by one of the Ipswich players. Hooper was trying to act as the peacemaker, and then he seemed to get hot under the collar as well.
What happened, as Nathan Redmond was walking away from the incident, I think Tommy Smith pushes him in the back, and he's got no right to do that, or no need to do that. I think Hooper says something to Smith. Nathan Redmond then turns and says, gives Tommy Smith a mouthful. Just stupid, you know. Don't get involved. You won the game. Don't get needlessly sent off and miss the final.
And we saw Whittaker and Basong, who were almost like trying to get hold of their mate who was a bit too drunk in a nightclub and take him to one side and talk him down, weren't they?
It's daft, absolutely daft. You know, you've scored a very good goal. You've created the opening goal. Don't get involved. They're trying to wind you up for them to get a reaction from you.
I think the words "leave it, he's not worth it" might have been used out there in the last few minutes. Norwich 3, Ipswich 1. The game is just about over. Free kick to Norwich City, halfway inside the Ipswich half now that all that nonsense has been sorted out. Dorrans floats it out to the left wing. Elliot Bennett enjoys a good touch of the ball here with time up for Norwich City and certainly for Ipswich Town. Norwich lead. They've won a throw in here deep inside the Ipswich half. Time still ticking away. We've now played 5 minutes of stoppage time, only 4 were signalled. Throw in goes Norwich's way. Referee has got his hands to his earpiece there. I think he's waiting to blow the final whistle. It's Wembley for Norwich City! A huge cheer at Carrow Road. They've beaten Ipswich Town by 3-1. We've now got 3 fans have come onto the pitch at the end of this game. They're now being joined by a couple more, and the stewards and the police are doing their best to try to make sure it doesn't become a deluge. It's not. We've got a handful of supporters on the pitch at the moment, but that's not detracting from the joy that's being felt at Carrow Road, because Norwich City have won this game. They've beaten Ipswich Town by 3-1, and for the first time since 1985, Norwich City are going to Wembley, Ewan Roberts.
But it's a shame that some fans have managed to get onto the pitch. Second half, I thought they were by far the better side. First half, you couldn't really split the two teams, but second half, the quality shone through. It's as simple as that. They upped their game. Big players like Redmond and Houlihan were big influences in that second half. And over the 2 games, Norwich deservedly going to Wembley.